Time for another edition of WZR TV Tuesdays here,
right here
on WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark, he's Matt Boone.
That's right.
And we're going to be here for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. We have a lot to talk about.
It's a historic, monumental week, if you will. It's a lot of things are going on, and they finally launched the WWE Network, the thing that's going to change their business as we know it forever.
Forever. It's
forever and ever.
Definitely monumental. It launched on Monday as expected. Lots and lots and lots of problems, man. I mean...
As expected. I mean, they had to expect a certain amount, but I don't know if they expected that many.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, obviously there was...
We're going to let Bruce play the entire time?
I figured we'd talk over
little Bruce?
Yeah.
Little Bruce?
Nothing
wrong with Springsteen. You know what it was, dude?
The boss.
The deal is, I mean, let's compare it to the federal government, okay? When they launched the healthcare website a couple of months ago, right?
I know
January.
nothing about this.
Well, they launched a healthcare website, and they crashed, and the site went down, and nobody could sign up, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm telling you, if you've got millions of people with the federal government, you know, trying to sign up for healthcare, and it's crashing on them, and you've got the federal government, I mean, the people are going to make their government just... They're going to have the best of the best service people.
No shave this week before the show?
And I couldn't brush my teeth, dude. It's been so busy. No shower, no shave, no nothing before,
I didn't shave, but I showered. I was going to say the closest thing to compare it to would be UFC Fight Pass, which is a very similar service, although they have two different goals in mind for what they plan to use those digital platforms for. UFC wants to expand into international events and make those available live on their WWE Network version of their thing. And by comparison, I mean, I'm sure there were issues, but I don't recall hearing about a ton of issues like we've heard with WWE, you know, because I'm in both worlds.
Right.
And I don't remember hearing about, I mean, I'm sure there were, but I don't remember hearing like it was a major story, like all these fucking problems are happening. And
with the healthcare website?
No, UFC Fight Pass.
Oh, okay, Fight Pass.
And they launched with an event right off the bat. I mean, they had that UFC Singapore event, which was an official UFC event that could only be available to be watched on the Fight Pass. And I don't remember hearing. I mean, I'm sure certain people had problems, but it wasn't a big thing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So they launched this thing on Monday, and just a ton of people. Actually, to be honest with you, the latest reports that are coming out yesterday alone, they had somewhere in the range of 250 to 350,000 sign-ups. So we'll say, you know, an average of 300,000 people signed up on one day, which is approximately 300,000 people. Then you're going to have more signing up today, and then you're going to have WrestleMania week.
WrestleMania week, where you're going to get a huge... I mean, I'm sure today, like if we're looking at the most people to sign up in a single day, yesterday would have been probably the most of all time.
Right.
Because it was free, first of all.
Yeah.
It was the first day, second of all.
Right.
And all that stuff. WrestleMania week weekend would probably be when the second biggest day in history happens.
Right.
And if today, or yesterday I should say, taught us anything, if people are planning on waiting, like I don't want it until WrestleMania, you might want to get it. I mean, you got to sign up for 6 months anyway. WrestleMania is within that 6-month period if you do it now. You might want to get it now, because if you get it WrestleMania Day, it looks like you might have a lot of problems with lagging, and might not even be able to sign through. You'd be better.
I mean, if you're going for the free trial, the thing with the free trial is the free trial.
Some people were charged too.
Yeah, people are being billed $9.99 for the free trial, everything else. But the deal is,
why would it only be $9.99? Because it's a 60-month.
Well, the free the free trial ends next Monday. Now, here's the deal: if you want to take full advantage of the 1-week free trial, you better sign up now, because no matter what, the free trial, it expires next Monday. So if you sign up on Friday looking for a 1-week free trial, you're only going to get it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Same thing, you know, it's going to go Tuesday. I mean, if you sign up today, you're only getting it to Monday. So if you were to sign up, you know, on Sunday, you're only getting the free trial for 1 day. So if you're going to take advantage of that, you've got to go sign up right now. It's kind of weird that they have it, you know, set up that way, but it's just until next Monday, then the free trial ends. And then, you know, the hope there is people are going to forget to cancel.
Or just be too lazy, yeah.
Well, or be too lazy.
Like with Netflix, I was subscribed to Netflix for a long time, for years. And the reason I never canceled my subscription, even though I'd go weeks at a time without even using it, was because I'm like, if I feel like watching a movie, it's there. I'm not going to go, because you got to go through all the fucking steps of canceling.
Right. So there's just, there's been a lot of issues, with PlayStation, Xbox, all the Microsoft consoles.
Roku's, or whatever the fuck that is.
It's pretty crazy. So we're going to talk the WWE Network, what you guys think about it. We'll get into that. We've also got, 2 big shows with the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view
3 big
on
shows.
Sunday Night, UFC as well on Saturday night. So UFC with the main event of Ronda Rousey and Sarah McMahon on Saturday night. So we'll talk about that. Ronda Rousey picks up another win, but not an armbar this time.
No, it was another first-round finish, which the last fight she had was the first time she didn't win in the first round against Miesha Tate. She won in the third round by armbar. So up until now, she's won every fight by armbar. Up until her last fight, every fight in the first round. So the last time she fought, there was a first. It was the first time she didn't win the first round. This time she fought was another first. First time she didn't win a fight at all in any round by armbar. She won in the first round, but by TKO.
Right.
Controversial.
In
my opinion.
Controversial.
We've gone through this before. It's controversial, and how do you say it?
Controversial,
and controversial. There's like a bunch of different ways to say it.
But anyway, so we had UFC on Saturday night, UFC 170 on Saturday night. We had the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on Sunday night. And then last night we had Monday Night Raw, which we've been telling you guys for weeks that last night's Raw was a big show where you were going to have Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker returning. Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman as well. Ric Flair was there. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna run down Elimination Chamber. I thought, for the most part, except for the finish of Elimination Chamber, that was a very good pay-per-view. Very good pay-per-view.
Let me think. I'm trying to remember. I think I disagree with you.
Yeah?
I think I disagree.
No, Elimination Chamber was...
I think the Elimination Chamber match was great up until the finish. Not great, good up until the finish, because there's been better ones. But it was good up until the finish. The finish sucked.
Right.
And the rest of the show, I would say... But no, the Shield Wyatt was out of this world awesome. That was an amazing match.
We're only in February, going into March here, next week. But that's match of the year in
match
WWE.
Of the year, crowd atmosphere of the year. That was the hottest crowd for a match I've ever heard.
And not only that, but the crowd in Minneapolis on Sunday night, great crowd. Just an awesome crowd.
Sunday's pay-per-view?
Sunday was pay-per-view night.
Was it a good crowd?
Minneapolis,
yeah, it was a good crowd.
No, they were in Minneapolis last night, and they were
they were in Green Bay last night.
Minneapolis on Sunday night. But and the Raw crowd was pretty good too.
But see, I've heard people saying the crowd wasn't that high. I thought the crowd was hot as shit all night.
Somebody in the chat room last night was saying, "What is wrong with this crowd?" And I'm thinking,
Facebook last night, because I'll make comments every time something big or something cool happens or something shitty happens. And I seen a couple comments. I forget what I was talking about, but people were like, "Yo, the crowd's not that hot tonight."
Well, the crowd was on fire last night.
Are you kidding? The crowd is fucking on. They're explosive. Chanting shit all night.
We got to talk about Daniel Bryan. What are they going to do with him at WrestleMania? We know what they're going to do with him. They're going to, have him in a match with Triple H. But is that it? Are they just going to do Daniel Bryan?
I gave you my idea what they should do last night,
and I agree with that.
It's a great idea,
completely. So we'll talk about that. If they leave it with Daniel Bryan and Triple H, listen, one of two things need to happen. Either Triple H versus Daniel Bryan main events the show, and Daniel Bryan gets the win, or there's a stipulation added to the Daniel Bryan versus Triple H match where Daniel Bryan beats him. He goes on to be put in the main event.
If you win, you get to go. You can be in the title match later in the show,
right? And then have him win the title. So on the same night, he defeats the authority figure in Triple H, and then he wins the WWE title. And that would be the way to make a star. Not that he's already not a star, but that would be the way to not have the crowd shit all over us.
Having him beat Triple H, the last active legendary guy. Unless you count Undertaker, but he's not active. But then having him beat him, go into the title match, win the title match at WrestleMania.
Right.
That's how you put a stamp on a guy and say he's our guy.
I think the main event, judging from last night, I think the main event at WrestleMania and the whole, all the hype and all the promotion going into WrestleMania 30, I think Taker Lesnar is going to main event the show.
Now they could do that, and let me put it this way: if they don't add Daniel Bryan or give him the ability to be in that title match, then they absolutely should.
They have to
put Taker Lesnar on last because they're going to
the
shit
crowd's
all
not
over
going to boo.
And I think their big wise idea, based on the booking last night and the rumors we heard.
You know what? I know where you're going with this. Save it for Raw.
You don't know where I'm
Save
going
it for Raw.
Well, I'll save it.
Their big idea is to have Daniel Bryan try to.
Bryan.
No. What we were talking about last night?
I was going to say their big idea was, all right, well, if they're going to boo the shit out of Batista Orton, let's turn Batista heel so they have a reason to boo.
Right.
Which doesn't work because they're not just going to boo him. They're going to chant Daniel Bryan. They're going to chant this, all that crap. They're going to hijack the match.
Right. They're going to hijack the show, the entire show, if Daniel Bryan's not in the main event. So I see live phone calls, guys. Hold off on that for just a little bit in our numero dos.
We got a lot to get to.
We'll open up the phone lines for you guys. We're going to, like I said, in hour number 1, we're going to talk Elimination Chamber and Monday Night Raw from last night. Also, talk about the WWE Network a little bit more in hour number 2. We might have time for rapid fire tonight, but if not, we'll.
Stephen Greveg in the chat says Triple H is not a legend. I got to argue with you on that one, man.
Triple H isn't a legend.
Triple H is a legend.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend.
All right, so let's we'll get the plugs out of the way. We'll get right into it. We won't beat around the bush. It's been a quiet week, man. I mean, we had the house to ourselves. They're back now. The family went down to Florida. Boone and I stayed here, obviously, but. They are back. Jacob, I missed my little nephew Jacob and my niece Haley.
I missed him, but I didn't miss the screaming and crying.
Right. Got my niece Haley back up in here. Got the sister Allison. So they're all back. And then last week, I've been telling you guys for weeks that I was going to be doing a server switch, and there was a possibility that the websites may go down for a day or so. Everything went as planned. We did it. I've always been honest with you guys, and I'll be honest with you right now. The reason that we were doing a server switch is I've been with a company called Cheetah Web for years and years and years now, and over the last couple of months, I kept seeing these pop-ups and things like that on WZROnline.com, and some of the pop-ups were like porn ads and things like that. And I went through every page on the server, and I'm looking, and I see these script codes that had been inserted to, on all the pages. And I'm trying to edit them out, and as I edit them, they're adding more. And it turned out that the website was hacked, and it had been hacked for months. It wasn't loading, Trojan viruses or anything like that, but it was loading these pop-ups and
it was loading all these Trojan condom ads and porn.
All these weird codes that were being put in the script, and it just completely fucked things up. So, and then I said to Cheetah, I said, listen, I need some sort of tech support. We need to find the hole. There's obviously a hole in the script that these guys are getting in, and they're able to upload these codes. And
they call it a backdoor. They got a way to get in your site without having login.
So right. So they had said to me, we're just a server company. We host the websites. We don't do script support. So I contacted the company, Webitram. They are awesome. These guys, they host servers.
Put them over.
Webitram.com, I believe.
There you go.
But these guys are great. They offer script support. So we went in there, and when we did the server switch, we started completely fresh. 314 viruses that they had found inserted into the script that we had. So everything is cleaned up. The sites are blazing fast. Even when I go to
post, they offer you script support, tech support. They fucking
man. Yeah. Even when you do the galleries, but when we go to post and things like that, stuff that you guys don't see. You guys see the news and stuff, but there's a whole system that we use to put the news up on the websites. Content management system, and that is blazing fast. Everything just it's
a lot quicker. Yeah, I can tell you from adding galleries, sometimes there would be a delay, a lag. You had to wait for the upload.
Yeah.
When you do it now, it's zip.
Right.
It's real good, yeah.
Not only that, but when you visit the websites, there's codes and things like that are all cleaned up, so none of that stuff is loading anymore. We've got the one pop up, but it's only once every 4 hours. That's one of our advertising companies, but the sites are blazing fast right now, which is awesome. So we're on a new server. everything went as planned. Check it out, WZROnline.com, ProWrestlingScoops.com. WWE SmackDown and main event being taped tonight in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There is a 1 hour delay. So SmackDown spoilers normally out about 10:30 Eastern time. You're looking at about 11:30 for those of you guys on the East Coast. So it won't be that bad of a late night.
I was thinking of the movie Wayne's World when I hear Milwaukee. Because Alice Cooper backstage is pronounced Milwaukee. You have to see the movie. Yeah.
Whenever I think Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee's Beast.
The Beast, the best.
Milwaukee's
best. We call it the Beast.
Right. So anyway, so we'll have WWE main event and SmackDown spoilers here in just a little bit before we go off the air here tonight. At least partial spoilers, and we'll try to give them to you before we go off the air. If we don't have time, we'll put them up on the websites on as soon as we go off the air here tonight. Official website at WZR TV Tuesdays, WZROnline.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Go to Facebook.com/WZR Army, YouTube.com/WZR Archive, and we're on Twitter as well. Go to WZROnline.com, top navigation bar, drop down menu. It's got all the links to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right there for you. WZROnline.com.
Motherfucking .com.
The official home of WZR TV Tuesdays.
Before we get into everything,
yes, sir.
I think we should, because this is stuff that normally airs before a show or at the beginning of a show, there should be an in memory of graphic like there wasn't on Raw last night for your good buddy Nelson Frazier. Big Daddy V, Viscera, Mabel, you guys might know them as those names. As is always the case with WZR, as soon as we go off the air last week, something big happens, and it was an unfortunate one again, kind of like the Mae Young situation that happened right after our show. Your buddy Nelson Frazier passed away, heart attack. So
it was just one of the nicest guys. I put up a voicemail on
funny guy
on my YouTube and on my Facebook, but just a funny guy, really caring guy. The last time we talked, man, he was so happy about the weight loss, man.
What was he contacting you about? He wanted you to post something.
No, he contacted us about a weight loss and how he had worked so hard.
Yeah, I'm talking about the voicemail. Is that what he wanted that time?
The voicemail was about that. He said, I want you to put that up on the website, so I want the whole world to know about that. Talking about the weight loss, he had lost 107 pounds, man. And I saw you put... That was a couple of months ago.
Okay, because TMZ said right before he passed, his wife, Sandra or whatever, had said that he had just lost another 100 pounds.
This was a couple of months ago, so I think it was 100 pounds, over the last couple of months, but or maybe it was 200 pounds.
Well, that voicemail was like a year ago, right?
In your report, no, the voicemail that was on there is about 3 or 4 months ago.
I don't think that's true.
It is.
I've been here 3 or 4 months too. It didn't happen when I was here.
Okay, you're right. It was right before you got here, because I've got the email that goes along with it.
You have to show me that. I could swear it was a while ago,
maybe 6 months ago.
All right,
maybe about 6 months ago.
You would know better than me, but you saw I posted what?
I said that TMZ had a taste list.
It was on their Facebook.
Yeah,
they have a Facebook. And they plug their articles, and they had a comment that said something along the lines of, I don't even remember. It was something to the fact of, he lost weight too much too quick, or waited too long to lose weight, because obviously it doesn't help now. Something like that. It was just a tasteless comment. They were trying to be funny.
I mean, well, see, when I read the article
on TMZ.com, it's clearly tasteless.
It said that he maybe he lost weight too quick and had a heart attack, and that's probably...
Or not quick enough was the other part. It was okay. There was something in there that was like, oh, why'd you have to say that? That's a dickhead thing to say.
Well, that was,
maybe they'll give it to us in the chat. I know it was a little one-liner that was like,
after he had I know
you're friends with TMZ, so...
I sent I'm friends with one of the reporters, with Ryan Satin. But no, it was, I sent a text to his phone after he passed away, and I said, hey, I'm hoping that somebody has Nelson's phone, and, I want to send out my condolences. And his wife, Cassandra, replied via text message and said, I appreciate that. He loved you guys, and he loved you, and everything else. And it was, they're going to take donations. I put it up on my Facebook page. I'll put it up again. Yeah. But it's, they've set up a P.O. box where everything goes over to Cassandra, and he had no health insurance. He had no will or no health insurance. So they're stuck. He didn't have a lot of money. He was kind of taking indie bookings here and there. But he had lost, 107 pounds the last, what I heard from him, and he was so happy about that. And it just seems like there's a possibility that, you know what, man, maybe he was losing so much weight, and you've got a man of his size, 500 pounds, you take off 100 or 200 pounds, and the heart,
it's not good for your heart.
The heart just says, whoa, 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 and, probably...
You gotta do it,
Yeah, and
two other quick things. Apparently TNA paid a tribute to him. We should mention that. That's what TNA fan in the chat said. Right. And John Morgan in the chat says, WWE Network just aired a video vault of Mabel and King Mo that old school rap video gimmick. Yeah, when they were doing the Men on a Mission thing.
Right.
With Mabel, Mo, and what was that other guy's name? Oz or
I don't remember.
I forget. But yeah,
I don't remember.
That's cool.
But yeah, so rest in peace to Nelson. He was such a good dude. He was just Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar.
Just a great dude, and he's going to be missed, man. He was a good friend of mine, and had been for a couple of years now. So rest in peace to Nelson Frazier. All right, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com.
Motherfucking.com/chat,
WZROnline.com. We have lots and lots of people in there, as always, tonight. So let's get into it, man. We got about 35 minutes to get through Monday Night Raw and Elimination Chamber.
No weather talk before we get into it, huh?
No, we got a couple of storms coming up this week. Watch
out. From Florida, they're down there sunbathing and laying out,
degrees,
going to the
swimming.
beach. We got mountains of snow outside.
Still got about 2 feet of snow up here. It's ridiculous. But
you're winning weather contests.
We need to watch about next Monday and Tuesday, around March 1st. We're watching a storm on the East Coast, big nor'easter. Could affect New York City up here in Albany. But other than that, a couple little clipper systems coming through, and that's about it.
It sounds like you're mispronouncing northeastern when you say that. But
nor'easter.
No, my joke is that it sounds like northeastern. Yeah, nor'easter.
All right, so WWE Elimination Chamber. You didn't think it was that good of a show?
No, I didn't. No,
really?
I didn't.
Wow. All right.
And we'll get into it step by step here. I don't remember. I just remember writing a column and saying that the Shield Wyatt match was awesome. The Chamber was good up until the finish, not great. But,
right.
And then I remember thinking a lot of the other stuff wasn't all that great. In my opinion.
I don't know, man. All right, the pre-show match.
I remember it different.
You're gonna have to talk to me about this. I was walking the dogs. I was trying to get everything done.
So they had the pre-show match. It was Goldust and Cody Rhodes versus Ryback and Curtis Axel. Of course, they're in Minneapolis, which is Axel's hometown. So they had his grandfather, Mr. Perfect's father,
Larry the Axe
Hennig, old AWA star. Excuse me, and he came out with them, which kind of immediately made them a babyface because he's a legend. They want to cheer him. They're in his hometown.
Right.
So they're cheering for him during the match, and they kept the match, 7-8 minutes or something like that. Wasn't that great of a match, considering how great the matches Goldust and Cody Rhodes have been having lately. It wasn't up to that level, but it wasn't terrible or bad either.
Right.
It was what it was. It was a pre-show match, and in the end, the Goldust and Cody Rhodes went over.
One thing I will say is there was talk of possibly doing Goldust against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, splitting the tag team up. I think they're going a different route with that, and they're going to split up another tag team in the Real Americans, and we're going to see Cesaro against Jack Swagger at WrestleMania instead of Goldust. And I like that better.
It looked like they were going to split up. It looked like they were going to split up Goldust and Cody Rhodes, the
Real
Shield. Americans. The Shield was the other one. Yeah. So there's a bunch of shit getting split up.
But you know what? We talk about it time and time again. Goldust and Cody Rhodes. You do that one match at WrestleMania, right?
And then where do they go?
And then where do they go from there? Goldust and Cody Rhodes become, just mid-card jobbers pretty much,
They're better off together than apart.
Right, and I feel like with Cesaro and Swagger, they are very high on Cesaro. So if you're going to do a singles match and split up a tag team, I would say do it with Cesaro and Jack Swagger. I mean, Jack Swagger may be lost in the shuffle. They'll probably wind up keeping him.
They can always repackage him in a certain way. He's had flashes where, that guy could be something.
Right.
And they tried at one point. They had him win Money in the Bank. Very botched getting the briefcase down. They gave him a world title run, even though it was brief. And, so they've tried stuff with him here and there. And he's a big guy. He's got great amateur credentials.
And I think Cesaro is one of those guys where they are currently high on him and they've got big plans for him. And not only that, but it makes more sense where after that feud is over, after Cesaro and Jack Swagger have their match at WrestleMania, Cesaro goes on to do big things. Hopefully. So at least one out of the two guys goes on to do something big. Where Cody Rhodes and Goldust,
they would be splitting it for one match, and then that's it. Cesaro and Swagger, they're split splitting it up because they're like, well, no, we
There's
can
more
do
potential.
something with this guy.
There's more potential.
Yeah.
After the split, right? All right, so that was the pre-show match. Who was on the panel on Sunday night?
It was Mark Henry, who couldn't put a sentence together. The Miz and Rey Mysterio, I believe, was the other one.
What was up with Mark Henry?
I don't know,
bro?
man, but he was stuttering and stammering. And, yeah, he could not get a sentence out to save his life. It was pitiful.
Terrible, dude.
And that's a shame because the guy's cut great promos in the past.
Right.
I wouldn't say he's a regular great promo guy, but that retirement swerve, fucking home run if I've ever
that
seen
was
one.
awesome.
Yeah,
that was
up there
man.
with Scott Steiner and WCW crying when it sounded like he was going to have to retire because it was either a neck or a back issue, and he's in the wheelchair and doing that whole thing. Yeah. That was fucking awesome. And the Henry thing was right up there with that, where it was very believable.
Yeah.
He put the waterworks on, he's crying, everybody buys into it, and then
talked about his kids and everything else, right? Going home, Daddy's coming home, blah 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 blah. All right, they kicked off the pay-per-view. It was Big E Langston. They dropped the last name against Jack Swagger.
Cole still says Langston every once in a while and screws up. And
Does he?
You can tell that he gets yelled at because after that he'll say Big E over and over and over and over to like hammer home like, oh no, his name's Big E. I will say this match I was expecting to suck. It's
good.
Pretty fucking good match.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good opener for sure.
Big E,
especially considering the two guys involved, you wouldn't think it'd be a great match. And then it turned out it started kind of slow, but by the end they were cooking.
Yeah, I think Big E is really good for a guy of his size. I mean, he's a great worker, man.
No, I wouldn't call him a great worker. I'd say he can do his part, and with the right guy, he can have a good match. But he's kind of clumsy and he's very stiff.
See, from what I've seen, man, in recent weeks, Big E is, he comes out there and he has good matches.
Who did he work last night? Because that match sucked, from what I remember. I remember seeing him just looking like a deer in the headlights, like he didn't know what to do at a couple points.
Yeah.
Him and Cesaro, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was Cesaro. Yeah, because Cesaro did the big swing. Right. So that kicked off the pay-per-view. We had Bad News Barrett, man. He kept coming out pretty much after every match. Yeah. The first couple of matches during the show, and then
of course, except for like 2 matches, he came out.
Right, and then of course the podium broke and came out and blamed it.
Well, it worked for the first match, and they had it higher than ever before. It was way up there.
Way up there.
Can I have some decorum, please? Right. I love that shit. The gimmick's getting old. If they don't do something with it soon, he's going to become a nobody in this role the same way he was a nobody. And he's got so much potential that it's a shame. You start him off, he's got momentum, and then you don't do anything with him, and then it's just fucking nosedives.
How long can you go with the current gimmick?
Yeah, and you remember a couple weeks ago they had Lawler stand up from the fucking announce table and talk shit to him,
right?
And then they did nothing to follow up on that. It's just. Yeah, I don't know.
So he he should have come out and says, "I've got some bad news. My podium broke." Bro, he said, "I've got some bad news. The electric team or the people in Minneapolis are right." So he kept coming out after these matches.
And he said, "I'm gonna stay on your guys' level since you guys are Minneapolis, so I'm gonna stay on your level. I'm not gonna go up."
Right. The New Age Outlaws against the Usos for the tag team titles. I thought this was another good match, man. I mean, the first 2 matches, I didn't see the pre-show, like I said, because I was walking the dogs. But the Outlaws wound up retaining here, and I thought they were going to do this.
Do you have our predictions in there from last week?
Yes, I do.
We gotta see how we did. I don't even remember.
Did I put it in the show file?
You put it in the show file. I don't know if you hit save, but I know you put it in there. I'll watch you type it.
All right, let's see. Let's load up the show file.
You were saying, what about the Outlaws and the Usos?
There it is.
Making a point of some kind.
Well, we thought that they were going to do the rematch on Raw and then do the switch, title switch on Raw, but they didn't wind up doing that.
They saved it. It looks like they're still going to do it, though, because the way they did that match, it's like it's not over yet. Their feud. Right.
So up until this point, you picked Rhodes and Goldie, as did I.
Yeah.
We got that one right?
I almost picked Axel, but I didn't. Yeah. So we got that one right.
Outlaws. Both picked
you picked Usos.
I picked the Usos to win, man. I picked the Usos. I think that's the only one you got me on.
It's the only one I changed because I was going with Usos too, and then I said just to fucking be different. So that
Yeah. All right. So they Outlaws wound up retaining there, and then crowd was once again hot, and then the crowd. I mean, listen, Darren Young against Titus O'Neil, dude. You've got a built-in feud where the guys have been traveling for years and years together.
One of the few established teams in the company.
You could have done so much with this.
They dropped the ball with that one.
They rushed it, and the crowd could have cared.
And it should have been not a star-making performance, but the beginning of a star-making push for O'Neil.
For Titus,
when it was over, it was kind of like he didn't gain or He might have lost a little bit in that match, even.
Where was Titus on Raw last night? They didn't even follow that up.
He wasn't even on, was
I don't
he?
even think he was on Raw last night.
Yeah.
No.
I thought that match sucked, by the way.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was a terrible match. The crowd could have cared less. There was CM
and they were trying their asses off.
I know.
Darren Young's kind of underrated as a worker, and for a big guy, O'Neill's pretty damn good. But there was just something that there wasn't a guy that wasn't that good, I think.
Right. Then we had the Wyatts versus the Shield.
That was tremendous.
Man.
How many times can you remember seeing two teams before the bell rings getting a "This is awesome" chant?
I know.
Just standing there staring at each other. This is awesome, and it was. It felt like you could feel it, man. Like when a wrestling match or a wrestling angle or a storyline's really done right, you can feel it, like right in the pit of your stomach. And I was sitting there watching that, like damn near with butterflies and goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this is fucking awesome,
bro. It was great. The problem I have, dude, is you had such a great match at the pay-per-view, and then they had Roman Reigns and Luke Harper in a singles match.
No, it was him and Bray, the leaders.
In a singles match on Raw last night. It was
Roman and Bray.
Roman and Bray. And then it was like, my God, dude!
They exposed each other.
Look how bad this match is on Raw.
I remember yelling in your room. I'm like, yo, they need Rollins, and you were right there with me. They need Rollins and Ambrose out there to make it. And Harper and Rowan are kind of underrated, especially for big guys. They're pretty damn good. Leaving those two by themselves. And it should have just been a slugfest that they quickly angled out of.
Right.
And instead they had them do like an actual match, and the crowd was doing random chants during that match.
Yeah, it was not a good match, man.
You talk about killing momentum. They were fucking here by the time the chamber was over, and then they go to Raw and they're...
You know, why not do a rematch, man? It was so great. And you know that they're probably not going to do a rematch because Bray and Cena are going to be in a match at WrestleMania 30.
They'll probably do it tonight at SmackDown or something
maybe,
tag team.
Maybe, but they should have done the rematch, an automatic rematch.
Well, they ended on Raw. It's not over.
It's not over.
They ended with a stare down. Maybe they're just doing that to set something up later after Mania.
After Mania, where the feud continues, right?
You would think what's Roman going to do if they're not doing that triple threat match with all three Shield members against each other? What's Roman going to do at Mania?
Well,
they got to do something with him.
If Cena's in there with Bray Wyatt, then you would take Roman out and put him in there, and then have Rollins and Ambrose against Harper and Rowan. Do something like that. Roman Reigns would have to go out and get a new opponent, but
maybe
you could do a tag team match between the Shield and without the leaders.
Smart, although, what's the U.S. title going to be doing then?
That's true.
But
that's true.
Another thing they could do, maybe they'll do that. They'll put the IC belt on. Maybe they'll have like Roman Reigns versus Big E, or Roman Reigns versus Big E versus Sheamus versus Cesaro, like a 4-way with the fucking hard hitters. Right. They got to do something. And of course, CM Punk's not back. And there's no plans, as far as I know, for him to come back, and they're in Chicago next week.
He was supposed to face Triple H.
But my point is, everybody's kind of booked up for Mania now. All the top guys, there's no big. Maybe they could do Punk Reigns if he comes back. Punk Reigns would work. Let's just say he comes back. Who does he work with at Mania? There's no big names.
Well, there's nobody now because Daniel Bryan stepped up to face Triple H.
Everybody's locked in with somebody.
You're right. So just an awesome match, easily WWE's best match of the year.
There was another match
of the year
a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, that was great. I can't remember what it was, but it obviously wasn't that great if I can't remember it, so that's got to be match of the year so far.
Yeah, it was just an awesome match. Was it Brock Lesnar and somebody at the Rumble?
Might have been Brock. No, Brock Big Show sucked.
Yeah, you're right. It was Big Show. It might have been.
I think it might have been Daniel Bryan and Bray at the Rumble.
That was a great match.
That was good.
That was a really good match, right? Oh man! Then we had the Divas match, which they didn't advertise going into the pay-per-view.
We reported
it. We had said that it was going to happen. The original plan was for Naomi to win the WWE Divas title going in to WrestleMania. They were going to do AJ Lee against Naomi. Naomi, they are high on her work as of late. They're high on Big E Langston, Cesaro, and Naomi as of late.
And Summer Rae.
And Summer Rae as well.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man, and we haven't seen much.
Obviously.
And Roman, we haven't seen much of much in-ring work from her. But I think the best WWE diva on the roster. I mean, Natalia's up there, but the best diva on the roster is Alicia Fox, man. Dude, Alicia Fox is nasty, bro. Every time I see her on Raw,
best divas in the
she's
company.
quick, she's a high flyer.
In terms
Alicia
of order,
Fox is nasty.
You're talking about the hot Rihanna-looking diva?
No, I'm talking about best in-ring workers.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the one I'm talking about. That's who you're talking about. I'm saying is the one that looks like Rihanna with the pretty eyes, black.
Yeah, with the red hair, with the red.
She ain't that fucking great. I would say
she's a good worker, man.
Natalia,
yeah.
Then Naomi, then AJ.
AJ's up there.
And I guess Alicia Fox. I don't even remember her being particularly that great.
Well, we saw her on Raw. We saw her on Raw in a tag team match a couple of weeks ago, and she's quick, man. She's real quick. She's a high flyer as far as divas are concerned. What do you guys think?
I didn't even know she was a high flyer.
Alicia
I don't know
Fox,
that well.
You guys aren't.
I know she's hot as shit, but.
I think if you put Alicia Fox in a one-on-one, I mean, we can't really judge her because we haven't seen all that much.
Yeah, I barely
work,
see her.
You
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. I don't know where you're getting
but from what I've seen on Raw in the matches that she's been in, there was a tag team match a couple of weeks ago. I think Alicia Fox is pretty fucking good, man. I don't know. So we had so Cameron comes in, right, and replaces Naomi.
AJ cuts the promo real quick before the match saying she's got the longest reign in history as Divas champion,
right,
and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Cameron, bro. You want to talk? I mean, you want to go from
smoking hot too.
Oof. Cameron.
Cameron, bro.
Come on, man. Really?
Oh man.
Cameron.
Oh man.
I don't know, man.
She is gorgeous.
I can dig a good black chick. Alicia Fox is hotter than Cameron.
Her and Cameron are the fucking smoking hot chicks.
You like Alicia Fox?
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. Yo, you want to talk about going from real good diva in-ring workers?
I'll say this.
To terrible. Dude, Cameron was
I'm not going to say she's good.
Terrible.
I'm not going to say she's good. She's getting better. I watched her. She's getting better, man. And I'll say this, too. The Bellas are getting better, too. Not good, not great, right. But they're getting better. Like,
the
you
Bellas,
look at them now compared to a year ago.
Yeah.
Those are like the three most improved. And I'd even say Bree more so than Nikki. But Cameron and Bree, they're getting better, man.
Dude, I'll rank. Listen, Eva Maria is clearly the worst. Oksana's up there. I would say Cameron is right up there as one of the
definitely
worst.
Used to be. I'd say lately she's getting better, man.
Dude, that match was terrible. I mean, there were spots where I think AJ went for a clothesline or something like that, man, and she missed by like 5 feet, dude. It was ridiculous.
Well,
what are you doing?
The problem with divas is, I mean, wrestling, it relies on timing and chemistry.
Yeah.
And if you got somebody who ain't all that great against somebody who's kind of shitty, it'll look even worse.
Yeah.
Now, if you got someone who's kind of shitty with someone great,
right,
Daniel Bryan can make a shitty worker look at least decent.
No doubt.
Or even good, because he's so goddamn good, and he can change his style to make this guy look better. He can switch up his timing, switch up his flow, and it'll look better overall. Mm-hmm. But if you got a Divas division where there's no anchor, like, put her in there with this bitch and it'll be at least a good match because this girl can make anyone look good. There's no real...
No, there was
Italian maybe, but even she's got her issues.
Yeah. It was, dude. This was terrible, man. Cameron, please don't keep her out of the ring, man. Please keep her out of the ring.
They keep saying in there that Paige is real good too. I've never seen Paige.
Paige in NXT, yeah. They've got that NXT Arrival special coming up on Thursday night.
Is it this Thursday?
It's
this Thursday.
This Thursday night on the network. If you guys have never, we put the Hulu video for NXT up on the websites. You guys should really check that out, man. There's a lot of good stuff in NXT. I mean, they've got an entire show, like pretty much a Raw or a SmackDown broadcast for NXT, where they do backstage segments, and they do,
it's a little indie promotion. But it's like WWE's official, and it's like OVW used to be, but only better.
Crowds into it, man. They've got the loyal, diehard crowd with the chants and everything.
I'll say this, only better, not as far as level of talent. Because OVW had fucking Cena, Orton, Batista, Brock, Shelton Benjamin. Like, they had a crazy roster at one point.
Alright, so that was the Divas match. And then, God, we had, what was it? Bad News Barrett comes out after this match. He's still going, coming in and out, right? They did a goofy segment with Santino Morelli's playing with some
toys,
action figures or something like that.
Biggest fucking waste of time ever. Great Khali was in it, and Los Matadors, and
Batista and Del Rio, bro. Poor Batista. I mean, they tried to bring back Batista, right? And Randy's promo on Raw last night was was great towards Batista, where he says, "I don't know if you noticed, dude, but
they don't like you.
They don't like you, and you're probably regretting the fact that you came back." And
it's almost like they were trying to turn Orton babyface with that.
Kind of was, right.
Whatever.
They were originally going to turn Batista heel on Raw last night. They may do it on SmackDown.
They probably are, because if you saw the promo.
Right.
The promo for SmackDown said Batista, I forget, it was uncensored, unfiltered, unleashed. Was that it? Unleashed?
Unleashed and uncensored.
Yeah, like basically saying he's going to let loose.
Gonna let loose.
That'll probably be his heel turn.
Crowd's gonna boo him, obviously, when he's out there cutting a promo, and then he's probably gonna say, "You know what? I don't give a shit about any of you guys. Screw you." You know what I mean? Something like that. So before the match, Del Rio comes out and he's limping down. He's comes down, selling the injury from a couple of weeks ago.
He's got crutches and a neck brace.
When Batista put him through the table, right? And he acts like, I'm too beat up. I can't face you tonight.
It's actually funny though, because they couldn't have been through the table, because after the table spot. It was after the table spot.
Table.
No, after that, I think it was the next week, or it was later that. No, it had to be the next week. They had the backstage segment where he pushed him into the fucking.
Oh, you're right.
Thing. So, and he didn't have no crutches or neck brace then, so he fucking hurt his leg and his neck getting pushed.
That's what it was. But I remember the announcers. I remember the announcers clearly saying from the table spot. But you're right. It makes no sense, dude. I mean,
unless I got that backwards, maybe it was the thing.
No, I think you got it right, man.
I think it was.
You got it right,
man.
Table
then the push.
Yeah. But anyway, so he comes out and then out of nowhere he just attacks him with the crutch, right? Was just beating him up
he
with
couldn't work, and then he just attacked him.
Yeah, Batista beat him down for the most part. Or Del Rio beat down Batista for the most part, and then Batista came back out of nowhere and got the armbar.
A brand new chant during that match that looks like it's gonna stick. Yeah.
Batista.
Batista.
The crowd's chanting CM Punk here.
Daniel
this is
Bryan,
boring.
Jerry Lawler, Randy Savage,
JBL,
Batista,
right?
Oh man, they don't like that guy.
They can't stand him. And then he cuts the promo on Raw last night, and I kept saying to you, bro, he's so bad on the stick, man. He comes out, the first sentence out of his mouth, man, he flubs it. You know, he fucks it up, man.
That's right.
It's like, dude, he's just bad. Sounds like a robot when he talks.
Hey, listen, I was saying it. I wrote a column about it. I was saying it for weeks. I'm like, yo, what is everybody so excited about with Batista? Do you guys not remember?
I know.
He can't talk. He can't work. I mean, he can have a decent match with the right guy every once in a while, but what are you so excited about? Like, I don't understand. And then he popped the rating and gave WWE all the ammo to be like, oh man, we're gonna go with this guy.
They loved it, right? They loved it.
Man.
I know.
He sucks.
Well, now they're being forced to turn him heel. Yeah. You know? I mean, the original plan for Batista was to turn him heel at WrestleMania. That may still be the plan, but I think they're going with it. You know, they teased it last night at Raw, and I think they're going to probably do it tonight at SmackDown.
We'll see. I thought they were going to do it last night, and they didn't. So.
Right. Get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com. I said con. Yeah. WZROnline.com/chat. Lots and lots of people in there tonight. How many people are in
the main event we haven't talked about yet.
That's 60 people in the chat room tonight. Not bad. All right, and then we got about 15 minutes to get to Raw, but the main event of WWE Elimination Chamber. So it was a good chamber, except for, and everybody's going to agree with this, the ending.
Yeah.
And you brought up a good point where Kane comes out, right? And they did it twice.
It was an extra fuck you. I wrote a column about that too. I had to say screw you because I can't say fuck in my shit. But, yeah, it was an extra fuck you. Like, they went out of their way to say, motherfuckers, we got you, you know.
That's exactly what it is, man. I mean, Kane comes down, right? Kane comes down and hits... Did he hit a choke slam?
No, he just distracted. No, Kane comes down to make sure the Wyatt family leaves because they had attacked John Cena. So Kane's trying to get them out of there. Daniel Bryan attacks Kane.
Right.
And while he does that, that was enough to distract them. So he turns around right into an RKO. 1, 2. Oh shit! He kicked out, dude.
He kicked out, and you're like, oh shit!
Daniel Bryan fucking switched the title.
Daniel Bryan's got a chance,
Holy
right?
Shit.
And the crowd went
2 seconds later, he rolls Orton up. 1, 2. No. That's fuck you part 1.
That's fuck you part 1.
2.
Right.
They double back. Kane distracts him. Turns around. RKO. 1, 2, 3. The same thing you thought we were going to do that we didn't do. We ended up doing anyway.
They did this ultimate tease where they were like...
It had to have been specifically to fuck with the crowd. That had to... Which is kind of funny if you think about it because the crowd's been fucking with them so much lately. that maybe they're vindictive and like, you know what, let's get them fuckers back.
Let's get them back.
You want to fuck with our show? We're going to fuck with your emotions. Check this shit out, you know?
That's exactly what they did. The ultimate tease where everybody thought, oh my God, Daniel Bryan kicked out of an RKO, and then Kane comes back and distracts him a second time, and the second time he didn't kick out, and of course the crowd went apeshit. Daniel Bryan screwed once again at a WWE pay-per-view. No title changes at all.
Listen, they're going to give the fans what they want, because Daniel Bryan himself said it last night on Raw. Give these people what they want. Me versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30.
You know what?
That's what these people want?
And we'll talk. We're going to get into Raw right now, but listen. I feel like if they go this route, if they have Triple H and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, which they're going to do, if there's a stipulation at the end of that match where if Daniel Bryan wins, he goes on to the main event at WrestleMania, and then he winds up winning the main event of WrestleMania. So, you come out of WrestleMania, you've got Daniel Bryan defeated. Man, is that true? You've got Daniel Bryan. No, did he? Are you serious?
We'll have to check on that at the break. But finish your point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Wow, I hope not. Wow. If Daniel Bryan comes out of WrestleMania as WWE champion and defeats Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton on the same night, if that happens, I think the crowd is going to say, you know what, we got what we wanted. It happened at the biggest show of them all. It couldn't have happened at a bigger pay-per-view. And that would be WWE's way of saying, see, we told you so.
They got to do something after that, though, to make it solidified. Because if you remember, they had Chris Jericho beat The Rock and Steve Austin in the same night to become the first ever undisputed, unifying the WWE WCW titles. And the way they used them afterwards was such a fucking pawn to Triple H that it didn't really sustain. So they really gotta, if that's what they're doing, and they give Bryan the strap, and I'm stalling for you, if they give him the strap and afterwards they don't continue to follow up and keep him strong, his character strong, his booking strong, then, it might all be for naught, as they say.
Right, exactly. But that doesn't change the fact that all these people ordered WWE.
Yeah, no, for that night they'll be satisfied,
So that was WWE Elimination Chamber from this past Sunday night. What'd you think? I mean, we just ran it down, dude. Overall, top to bottom.
C.
A C? A C? Really?
I'll give it a C plus because of the Wyatt Shield, but yeah.
I'll go a B minus, man. I'll go a
Other
B.
than the Wyatts and Shield, what was like? I won't even say great because nothing else was great. What else was good on the show?
The Divas match was terrible. I thought the Elimination Chamber match was really good. I thought Swagger. It was a good match. I thought Swagger.
A bad finish, which kind of ruins it.
That's true. Swagger and Cesaro, or not Swagger.
Swagger and Big E was okay.
And,
good, I'll even say.
That was a good match.
Yeah, but all right. So Titus O'Neil, Darren Young sucked.
Yeah.
Divas match sucked. The Chamber match was good, and then they ruined it with the finish.
Right.
What else did you have on there? Fucking tag match. What was it?
The
Usos
pre-show.
and New Age Outlaws.
That was a good match.
It was all right.
That was pretty good, man.
I didn't think it was a great show.
I'll go a B minus, man. I'll go a B minus. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil and the Divas match were ridiculously bad, dude. But
I wouldn't call O'Neil Young ridiculously bad. It wasn't good.
Yeah, they weren't good. They weren't good matches.
Where the hell did they get that from?
I don't know, but we don't have any confirmation or anything like that. Somebody said something in the chat. We're going to check on it more during the commercial break, but we'll have some info. We won't mention it right now, what he said. But get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat, WZROnline.com/chat. All right, so Monday Night Raw from last night. We won't do the whole thing top to bottom, but the high points and the low points. The big news was Hulk Hogan made his return to WWE. Huge pop when he first came out. Huge
It was a good pop.
It was a good pop, man.
I mean, I don't know what I expected. From what I'm about to say, I guess I should say it and then say that. But, all right, you can't get physical. They're not really going to do much with him in the active storyline. So what did I expect? I don't know, but I was kind of let down by the way they used him. I mean, they didn't really do anything. He came out for a fucking 5-minute promo. Said, oh, it's cool, we have the network now. I'm going to host WrestleMania and brother and see you later.
And that's why they wanted him there. It was basically Hulk Hogan, bring these guys back with the launch of
And for the rating, they should have saved it. They shouldn't have opened the show with it.
That's what I was thinking, but
plug it online, because they didn't plug it at all going in. They only plugged it because TMZ leaked it. You know, they didn't advertise it on their TV.
The plan was on Monday afternoon, they were going to send out a press release on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, get that last minute buzz.
Right, announce it on WWE.com, issue a press release to the media outlets.
Was stupid even still. They should have been plugging it for weeks and weeks and weeks leading it, like the same way they did Batista.
Right.
And Batista popped that huge number.
Right.
Because they promoted the shit out of it.
But they weren't going to originally promote Batista
but they
either.
did, and it worked.
Out. Right, and it worked.
So if that works, and you got a bigger star who's been gone even longer, do the same thing, you get a bigger number.
If you're not, I mean...
And you're coming off a pay-per-view. Batista didn't come after a pay-per-view. You came to go home before the pay-per-view.
If you're going to open the show with Hulk Hogan, at least announce that The Undertaker is going to be there as well. So that way,
all those people are there to see, but don't leave because we got something else big happening later. And they didn't do anything
like that. Nothing like that. They had Hogan, and then a lot of people tuned in to see Hogan, and then once they saw Hogan, we're out of here.
They teased Lesnar.
They teased Lesnar the entire night.
There's rumors that Batista or Brock Lesnar is going to be here.
Yeah.
He was just there 2 or 3 weeks
ago. I know. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so they opened it up, like we said. Hogan comes out. He cuts that promo that you just talked about. It's all about the network.
Dude,
what you going to do? Oh, God, dude. He's classic Hogan, dude. What you going to do, brother?
I'm marked out for it, though, especially hearing that music.
Dude.
I hated when they brought him back the first time and they had him come out to the Jimi Hendrix fucking theme song that he used in NWO and WCW.
Right.
No, I wanted to hear and
they brought him out. They brought him out for that.
As soon as that music hit, I'm like, yeah!
Dude, it was just, I don't know. I'm so sick and tired of Hogan, man. I mean, I used to watch Impact on Thursday nights. Hogan would come out. He'd cut that same promo that he's cut for 20-something years now. What you gonna do, brother? Yeah. Brother, Jack. You know, John Cena in his promo, dude. Oh, God. John Cena was in full... I'm not white. I'm not white mode last night. And he kept saying, I got news for you, Jack. If you think you're going to do something about it, Jack. You know what I mean?
Cena or Hogan?
Cena.
Because Hogan was doing Jacks more than usual.
Hogan was doing his Jack, and Cena was doing his Jacks.
Fucking jack-offs.
Both of them.
I just had to say jack-offs.
We had a rematch between Dave Batista and Alberto Del Rio after the Hogan stuff.
Shit on him again.
Once again, dude, Batista comes out, and immediately, as soon as he stepped through the curtain, man, the crowd just shit all over him.
And they had him jobbed.
And they had him shut up.
I mean, they had Orton and screw him to set that up, and you cut the promo down, so we don't have to do that, but ran it down.
Well, Batista cut the promo. Was it before?
Orton cut the promo. Oh, no.
It was after the match, right? It was after the match.
Yeah, Orton's music hit, distract him, Del Rio rolls him up, 1, 2, 3, Del Rio wins, and then Orton immediately just starts talking. They don't even hit Del Rio's music, Orton just started going right into his promo, cutting Batista down, people don't like it, blah, 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 blah. Batista said, well, that's the beauty of the WWE Universe. They can voice their opinion. Sometimes they like me and I like them. Sometimes they don't like me and I don't like them.
Taking the John Cena
approach, right?
I'm going
to beat you at WrestleMania and be the new champion. Deal with it.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Deal with it at the end. But they're taking the John Cena approach with Batista in you can either cheer me or you can boo me. I love all you, or I don't care, or you guys are allowed to cheer.
That's the beauty of you guys can say what you want.
Something like that.
You pay your tickets and...
Let's see here. We had, I told you this last night, man. Big E and Cesaro, right? One-on-one, the two guys that dropped their first and last names, right? Big E dropped the Langston part. Cesaro dropped the Antonio part.
Dropped it for him, but yeah.
Right. They teased a split, which they've kind of been hinting at in the last couple of weeks with the Real Americans, where Jack Swagger came in, cost Cesaro.
They did the exact same thing, if I'm not mistaken, here that they did later in the night with the Shield.
You know what? You're right.
They had Cesaro's damn near about to beat Big E and become the IC champ, and maybe I'm wrong. Is this how the finish came? Swagger just came in and threw the Patriot lock on him for no reason.
Right.
Out of nowhere. DQ.
Right.
Later in the night when the Shield, or when Roman Reigns was beating up Bray Wyatt, they had everybody running and do all that, but nobody got the DQ until Roman Reigns is in the ring with Bray. He's about to hit him with his finisher, and then Ambrose hits the ring and just starts beating the shit out of him.
Right.
Same fucking thing to set up the same thing, which is a breakup.
Pretty much,
same way, in the same show, come on, creative team. You can't come up with a different idea.
No. So, they teased tension. Like we said, man, the plan is Cesaro and Swagger one-on-one, likely at WrestleMania 30. Got big plans for Cesaro following WrestleMania. Yeah, so it looks like they're going to split up the Real Americans. I'm guessing, Swagger is going to stay with Zeb and Cesaro. Coulter is going to try to play this role to, keep them on the same page, but eventually
that's Cesaro face, though.
I think they may. Swagger would be the heel in that match.
Swagger's the one who's got beef, or Zeb and Swagger are the one who has problems. Zeb
you're right. A couple of
Cesaro. Well, Swagger screwed Cesaro.
They could easily change that, though. I think
what was the point of doing it then?
Well, you never know with WWE. Changes week to week with WWE.
A lot of shit they do doesn't make sense.
I would say Cesaro's more over with the crowd than Swagger. Obviously, he's the guy that's over. So I would say, Cesaro eventually.
He's got that fucking swing. That's not a heel spot, no matter.
But you know what? They're playing the Swagger Coulter beef off. They're playing it off as Coulter's just trying to do what's best for Swagger.
They're playing it off like they're doing favoritism for Cesaro.
Maybe they come back with Swagger took Coulter's advice and he agreed with it. He needed a slap in the face. He needed Coulter. And then Coulter and Swagger, they go together. Cesaro is eventually going to say screw this. I'm sure Swagger is going to continue to cost him matches and things like that.
The natural thing to do is Swagger keeps costing the matches. Cesaro finally beats him down.
Right.
Which makes
him
the
crowd
heel.
Pops huge.
Because he beats him down. Coulter's with him, and then Swagger's supposed to be the face because he's like, he got his friend turned on him and fucking, whatever.
I think Swagger and Coulter are going to be together, and then Cesaro's going to turn.
I hope you're right. I hope that's what
Cesaro's going to do the turn and beat down Swagger. The crowd's going to pop huge for Cesaro, and then you're going to have Swagger and Coulter kind of laying there like, you motherfucker, what the fuck? And then that turns Cesaro babyface, and then you've got Cesaro Swagger at WrestleMania. We'll see what happens.
How many weeks do we have till WrestleMania?
5, bro. I think it's
Raws left?
March 5th.
No, it's April 6th.
8? No, Jesus, dude. Then there's about 7, 8 Raws left.
So there's all of March.
That
wouldn't be 8. There's 4 Raws in
you know what? We're at the end of February.
Yeah,
we're right.
1 more in February, 4 in March, and then maybe 1 in April, depending on what day the 6th is. No, the 6th would be a Sunday.
5 or 6.
Yeah, there's
I think it's
5 or 6.
5. I think 5 weeks. Starting next week, I think 5 weeks.
I'm not looking at weeks. I'm saying how many Raws are left, and I think that would be 5.
Yeah, 5 Raws. Monday. 5 Raws. Yeah, no doubt.
All right,
So we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks with Cesaro. We had John Cena, man. John Cena comes out, cuts this promo, dude.
Yo.
Oh, man.
Dog.
It was classic John Cena. Dude, it was ridiculous. So then they do this angle, right, where the Wyatt family winds up coming out, right? And they attack.
He called him out, yeah.
He calls them out, and they come out, and they wind up attacking Cena, right? Yeah. And then they do this angle, which on my Facebook page last night,
I had the first time.
It said clearly it looks like it was scripted, right? And then they come back from the commercial break and they take him out on a stretcher. And then a lot of people were confused, as I guess what happened is the knee did swell up backstage. It did swell up. There's photos out there.
Look at it in slow motion when Eric Rowan takes him down,
right?
And the other guys are guzzling him while he's taking him down. It looks like his foot gets planted wrong and pops or twists.
Right.
Or, it looked like that.
So
it's feasible that he was injured if you watch.
He was injured. Yeah. That's the thing. He was
not injured. He was hurt.
The knee
injury or something. Yeah.
Right. He was hurt. The knee did swell up legitimately backstage, and there's a photo online of a swelled up knee, right, which is 100% legit. But they had it in the script.
Yeah, it was written in
that they were going to do an injury angle.
The stretcher was sitting there waiting before the segment.
They didn't plan for the knee to swell up like it did. But it worked out that way.
When I wrote,
it was kind of like, whoa.
I wrote that it was like the bonus plan. Like, they're going for this injury angle. They got the stretcher already there. It's in the script. And then he actually does get a little fucked up.
Does on accident.
And now it's like, oh, shit, it's even believable now.
Right. With the photos and everything else.
He waves off the trainer, that's trying to check. No, let me fucking fight these guys first, and then you can...
So it was, they're lucky. It did swell up. It's not that serious. He's not going to miss any in-ring time. Not WrestleMania, at least. They may keep him off Raw or something next week.
We breaking here?
We're going to break right now. We're going to come back on the flip side, guys. We're going to finish up a Monday Night Raw from last night. We're going to try to get to your rapid fire. I'll put it up during the break. I can't guarantee that we're going to be able to get to all of your rapid fire questions.
Stay a little late tonight.
Stay a little bit late, right?
Yeah.
It's not, we'll go a little bit
I have
long.
to do SmackDown, but as you said, it's delayed.
It's delayed by about an hour. Right. So, alright, we're going to check on a story that we heard about during the break. I'll let you know if that's the real deal. I don't think it is, but we'll let you guys know. We're going to come back on the flip side. We're going to finish up Monday Night Raw and talk to the WWE Network, all the problems, who they're blaming, what's the deal, and the latest backstage news and rumors over
see if we get a minute
the
or
past
two.
week or so.
Take
Yeah,
your phone calls. 518-712-3070. Give us a ring.
518-712-3070. Like Matty B said. Speaking of Matty B,
I'm on the air.
You're listening to WZR TV Tuesdays with Matt Boone.
That's me.
Ryan Clark.
That's him.
We'll be back right after this.
Ain't chop.
Shoot! I didn't put rapid fire up. Whoops! We were doing some checking on the websites. Do you know how to use the laptop and the keyboard and all that good shit? Because if you do, if you can just kind of, it's right there, and then we can put it on Facebook. I'll run down some news.
All right.
Here's the deal. During the commercial break, number one, the Monday Night Raw rating is out. Last week it drew a 3.1, I believe is what it was. This week, featuring the return of Hulk Hogan, WWE had been hyping it up, came out and it was a 3.3, which is a pretty big rating for WWE.
What was it last week?
3.1 or a 3.0 last week. I want to say a 3.1 last week.
That ain't that great.
It went up to a 3.3. Still, a 3.3 is a better
Batista
number.
drew 3.5.
I know he did.
And he was on the go-home show of the Rumble. He wasn't even on a post-pay-per-view show.
Right.
And, that proves they should have advertised it.
And
They should have promoted the damn show.
Rapid Fire is now up thanks to Matty Boone at Facebook.com/RyanClarkWZR. By the way, Matt Boone is on Facebook as well. Go to Facebook.com/MattBooneWZR. Just like mine. /RyanClarkWZR/MattBooneWZR. So, Adam, if you already haven't, WZR Army Adam. So, here's
They're asking me if I can type in the chat. You got a little pre-written thing that you want me to copy and put on there. So.
Right, it's in a show file that we have.
No typing needed.
The other news that we weren't going to bring up, and listen, we're going to mention it on here. Boone and I talked about it. Should we mention it? Should we not mention it? Somebody in the chat room had mentioned in our numero uno that Rene Dupree had passed away, and we did some checking online during the break. The only information that I found is if you go to his Wikipedia page, which is updated by fans.
The most credible source on the internet.
Not a credible source at all. It is not a credible source. But his Wikipedia page does say that earlier today, that he was found dead in his apartment, and they found.
Apartment, wasn't it?
No, he was found by his brother, in his apartment, and there was heroin and prescription drugs found at the scene. Now, no media outlets whatsoever
that we could find
have this up. We checked the local media out of
if it happened, it'll be confirmed at about 10:02 p.m.
Right when we go off.
Yeah.
But as of right now, we checked the local media outlets where
that's becoming an unfortunate trend. It used to just be a big story would break after WZR.
Right.
Now it's death.
I know.
Mae Young, Nelson Frazier, if this is true, Rene Dupree.
I'll tell you what, that's
3 out of the last 5 or 6 weeks.
I mean, keep it in mind, God, hopefully it's not true. Hopefully it's not. And the last time we had saw Rene Dupree, there's a photo, or had seen Rene Dupree, there's a photo out, and he does not look good, man. He didn't look good.
Which makes it kind of believable that there would be drugs involved,
He was very, very skinny the last time we saw him, and it was not a good photo. But if you go to Google...
Because if you remember, when he was in WWE, he was like fucking like Chris Masters, known for being in incredible shape. And
right.
Cut up, and,
It's just, he was jacked when he was in WWE,
Big
man.
boy, yeah.
So it does, if you go to Google and you do a search for Rene Dupree, it brings up his Wikipedia page. You scroll down to the bottom and it says, on February 25th, 2014, he was found by his brother in an apartment, and there was heroin and prescription drugs found.
Completely possible that just some jerk-off fan,
right,
wrote that in the chat and then went and edited his Wikipedia so that there would be a place to say, look, it says it here, but
right.
I don't know. You never know.
So, hopefully it's not true, but we'll
I
try
forgot the name of the tag. You remember the name of the tag team he was in?
Yeah, it was the Canadian. It was a Canadian.
It's French Canadian, but yeah.
French Canadian. It's like Lost.
Close. You're already close. Yes.
Oh man. La Resistance.
La Resistance. Yeah, you got it. You son of a bitch. All right.
Who was it? It was Rene Dupree and
that fucking guy.
Rene Dupree.
Sylvester.
Sylvain Grenier.
Grenier.
Okay. That's who it was. Right. All right, so we'll try to keep you guys posted on that. Hopefully it's not true, but we just figured that we would mention it here as that's what Wikipedia says, and if
I ask what the name of the tag team is, and every jerk off in the chat tried cheating for you.
Did they?
Well, yeah, they're all trying to do it.
There you go.
He posted on his Facebook 3 hours ago.
That's what I heard, Ryan, in the chat room, man. I mean, he was
Anthony Remy said he posted on his Facebook 3 hours ago.
Yeah. Oh, Dupree did?
Anthony Remy says that.
Yeah, it's probably not true. I mean, like we said, man, and not only that, but he's been working overseas in Japan, and if he's in Japan, then the Wikipedia page says that he was found in an apartment in Canada.
All right. A second source says he posted on his Facebook 2 hours ago, Rygal, guy we trust, and then John Morgan says his Wikipedia page doesn't say it anymore.
It doesn't say it anymore. So there you go.
Somebody took it off.
Maybe somebody went in and so that's good news, man. Thank God that's
Dickhead
not true.
Started that rumor.
It's just a lot of people go and edit Wikipedia pages.
Not even Wikipedia.
Like
they came into our chat and said it, and then there's Wikipedia. So they're either one
probably
person
to have us bring it up, and then
so one person did both. Or there's more than one person doing the same fucking fake story and trying to get people with it.
It's not true. I mean, if it's
we don't know if it's true or not.
We never said it was true in the first place. So anyway, let's finish up Monday Night Raw from last night, man.
Real quick update. Somebody says it still does say it. They just didn't scroll down.
Okay, you got to scroll down to the bottom, so it's still up there. Sheamus against Christian. They had that on Raw. Sheamus, Christian jobbed out once again. There was
talked so much shit about Christian again on commentary.
I know, with his looks and how ugly he is, and
it's becoming a running gag, especially with JBL.
Vince has never liked Christian, man.
Never liked his look. There's something about the way he looks that bothers him. I don't know what it is. We told the story about the blue dot.
They wanted a couple of weeks ago, right? Yeah. So. He's a good looking dude. I'm not trying to sound gay or anything, but Christian's not a bad looking dude.
It's like a normal guy to me. I don't see anything particularly like, I can't stand his face. That's what Vince supposedly said. I hate his face.
Right.
And they were fucking with his tan real bad too on commentary.
Were they?
That spray tan.
Yeah. Speaking of, oh my God, Hulk Hogan, bro, what was up with that kid last night?
There was times in the past when I was a kid. I remember watching him. He was like dark purple, like he would turn like a weird shade of brown, like he was.
He had like the white.
They tried saying he was Irish too, which was fucking awesome.
Really?
Like Hulk Hogan and like he was the Irish fucking guy, and like
he had like the it's not the wife beater, but he had the with the sleeves cut off there, sleeveless shirt. Well, you could see there was like a little fucking where part of his skin changed, it was completely white and then
different hue,
dark. Is that a spray tan? That's got to be a spray tan that Hogan's got on.
I think he's just a tanning bed guy. I don't know.
You think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah? All right.
I know that's the old school move. You go eat, you go to the gym, you go to the fucking tanning bed.
Yeah.
You go to the gym again.
Yeah. Well, Dana Bryan and Kane, they did this match. Earlier in the night,
they showed a segment, of Triple H and Stephanie getting out of their limo in the parking lot. Renee Young approaches them, asks him about the historic fucking day of the WWE Network, and then out of nowhere, while they're talking, Daniel Bryan runs up and fucking ambushes them and says, why did you screw me last night with Kane? And you keep screwing me. You screwed me at a fucking this pay-per-view Battleground. You screwed me at it's been starting since summer. Whatever. And long story short, I challenge you to a fight at WrestleMania. And Triple H made the comment, we'll try and find a spot for you somewhere on the card, kid, or something like that. Just some dickhead fucking elitist comment.
Well, and he kept saying, as they're walking away.
Right? Elitist?
Elitist?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Holier than thou, like better than...
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
As Triple H is walking away, he's saying, WrestleMania? WrestleMania? What's me at WrestleMania?
Well, I think they're just guessing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't know. I was talking about that right there.
Hogan is Irish. Alright, well, damn, I've never seen him. My fucking stepdad was Irish. He would turn beet red, we'd call him a lobster in the summer. He would turn bright red.
Burned up quick.
Burnt!
Yeah.
To crisp. Yeah. And Hogan turns brown
he does turn
an Italian,
brown.
like me.
Right.
I turn real dark brown when I get tan and shit. Yeah, I very rarely burn at all.
Anyway, so back to Monday Night Raw. So they did the whole thing, and then that was earlier in the night, and then we had Daniel Bryan against Kane. Coming off the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Yeah. Kane screwed him out of the WWE World Heavyweight Title or the Chamber match, both. So Kane comes out, right? Daniel Bryan winds up beating him with the knee, right?
Running knee.
Hit the running knee. So there was a
working
lot
on that shoulder too of his. I wonder what they're doing there.
And what was up with commentary last night during this? By the way, I think JBL is so freaking good on commentary.
He's the man, bro.
Where anything that Michael Cole says,
and he can do it in storyline.
He can do it in storyline, but anything Michael Cole says, JBL can spin it the complete opposite way. I'm talking anything, man.
He takes the heel approach, but
right.
I'm saying, they'll bring up anything, like you said, anything, and he'll be able to have a rebuttal that's a heelish kind of asshole thing to say, but
relates to story.
That'll be somewhat storyline or character related. True. It won't be like taking real shots.
It is awesome, bro. He is so good on commentary. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, during this match, was it this match or Sheamus Christian? It was one of these two matches where they fucking it wasn't even any of these. It was Is that where they were talking about the Ezekiel Jackson? What's the E stand for in Big E? Yeah, I forget. I could have sworn
Igor?
Could have sworn it was. Yeah, they were trying to say Eeyore. They were talking about Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
They said Igor. Yeah, but this one was a tag team match. It couldn't have been this one because that one only lasted a second. But either way, there was a match during the show where they were arguing, and even for them, it was like, Jesus Christ,
enough.
And even Lawler made the comment, like, hey, can we talk about the match for a second?
Right.
And then fucking said something that was going on. Yeah, I think it was Sheamus Christian.
Right. Yeah, and not only that, but for those unaware, JBL and Michael Cole are traveling buddies, right? Where they go from arena to arena.
Friends. They do a radio show together.
They do the radio show.
And they do that YouTube show together.
Video show. Yeah. And they travel from arena to arena.
Climb mountains together. They enter weight loss competitions together.
They're really good friends in real life, so it makes it all that much better. It's like you and I, man. When we come on here, we go back and forth. We know how much we can push each other.
Yeah, we know when we've crossed the line or when the other one's getting real pissed off and, all right, take the foot off the gas real quick.
Right, exactly. And it translates to good stuff on TV.
You can see chemistry on camera. Like Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon were fucking brilliant together. They were the best duo I can ever recall. Maybe Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were up there, but man, Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon were so fucking funny to watch together.
Yeah, right. So you just brought it up, man. It was the New Age Outlaws against the Uso brothers.
The Emma Summer Rae Classic contest.
Oh my god, dude! Emma's not that bad in ring. She is good, man. Santino, bro, there was one line. You even came in. You came in and said, you're Santino Morello.
That's exactly what it was. Summer Rae was beating the shit out of Emma. She grabs her by the hair and yanks her through the middle ropes to show her to Santino. Does she look good now or something like that?
Santino, real quick.
Yes, I do.
Real quickly.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
Real quick.
That was like the previous week when Santino did the fucking I just realized I love this girl and I want to kiss her.
Santino is so good, man. Of course, it's a comedy role and everything, but stuff like that takes charisma.
There's
Somebody else.
Timing. There's a certain cadence. There's a flow.
Who else? I said last night, Bray Wyatt, bro. When Bray Wyatt cut that promo, right? When Bray cut that promo, people don't realize. All right, we're sitting there watching it on TV.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, all right, he's out there in front of 12, 13,000 people. and he's got to put on that voice and those facial expressions and everything. And of course, these guys are entertainers, they're actors. That's what they're trained to do. They're performers, right? And they're trained to do that. But I'm just thinking, I couldn't go out there.
I couldn't.
I knew you were going to catch that. I couldn't go out there in front of 12, 13,000 people and do that as good as he did it last night. He was so good on commentary, and I think little things like that, to the average viewer, it's like watching any television show. These guys are actors, and some actors are great, and others are, train wrecks.
You play a character, you get into that. Yeah, I mean,
you get into that character, but that's tough to do, man.
I can perform in a situation like this for a camera. Back when I did the radio show for a fucking telephone, but I would remember. Here's a good example: like when we would do WZR, the radio show,
right?
And I was in Florida, you're up here, and we'd be on the phone or on a headset or wherever we would do it. If one or two people was in the room with me, I couldn't do it as well. I've got bad anxiety. I can't deal with crowds that well. Like you said, to be in front of 13,000 people.
And to put on that voice.
You can be a good performer, and I'm not saying I am, but I'm saying if you put me, for example, in front of thank you. But if you put me in front of 13,000 people, whatever talent I have here, wouldn't translate there because I'd be so fucking nervous and shy and self-conscious and I wouldn't be able to do it.
Exactly.
Well, but with Bray Wyatt's promos, I got to say that they don't fucking make a whole lot of sense.
That's the point.
They're supposed to. I guess they're supposed to be like overly intellectual to where like you really got to think. No, it makes sense in this fashion, but like even in that sense, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
There you go.
That's my 2 cents.
Look at you go.
But, yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. That was about 4 of them right in a row.
Jay-Z did that line in his song once. Truthfully, if I wanted to... somebody...
Entertain us.
Common sense.
Perform a rap.
I can't remember the lyric. I'm trying to think of it. Truthfully, if I could...
We gotta get you a haircut, man. You mentioned it the other day, man.
Yeah, I need a haircut.
Anyway.
And I don't want your sister to do it again. No. She did alright, but there was one spot that was real... And then when it gets longer, it's a fucking mess right now.
You hear that, Al? Get to our live chat room. WZROnline.com.
Motherfucking.com.
/chat. WZROnline.com/chat. Get in there. We got lots and lots of people in there tonight. All right, so let's just skip ahead to the main event, bro. It was, we're almost there. We had Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. That's where Bray cut that promo beforehand. Yeah. They exposed him. We talked about that earlier.
It was a train wreck, in my opinion.
Train wreck.
It got good towards the end, but man, it was a disaster for a while. Like to the point where the crowd were extremely hot in the beginning.
Right.
Because they're coming off that, they got that momentum, and it's the leaders of the 2 biggest factions, and it just looks cool just to see in a visual. Then they touched, and it was like, oh god, this is boring and slow paced.
It wasn't
picked up at the end, but the fact remains is they really killed a lot of great momentum that they had built up over the last few weeks, and really peaked with last night or Sunday night at the Chamber.
Right. So the main event was the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes out. Now here's the problem I had with this, and you know what else we need to talk about? Daniel Bryan came out and cut that promo, right? And he says to everybody. We mentioned it briefly, but he says, everybody wants to see.
You need to give these people what they want, and that is
you need to give them what they want. Everybody wants to see Triple H against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and the crowd kind of was like, not really.
Yeah, they even booed a little bit.
They even booed a little bit, and then immediately after that, Bryan starts going, everybody wants to see, yes, yes, yes. Yeah. And of course, the crowd's going to chant yes. Yeah. But before that, it was like everybody's like, no, we don't want to see that. So I think WWE's way...
They're willing to chant yes with them because they like doing that chant.
WWE's way of trying to get this over to the crowd is by having Daniel Bryan go out there and say, this is what I want. Yeah. And if I want this, if I want this, and this is what I want, you guys want it too, man, because I want it.
So much to the point where he can
control the crowd.
He can convince everybody, well, if this is what I want, then this is what they want to see too, because they want to see me get what I want for a change.
No, everybody wants to see you as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. They don't want to see you against Triple H. They want you as World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. So if you don't give them that at WrestleMania, and you put Triple H versus Daniel Bryan down the card, and that's it for Daniel Bryan. For the rest of the card, after Triple H, Daniel Bryan, maybe for the exception of the Undertaker match, and of course if they main event WrestleMania with that match, then I think they'll be okay. But for the rest of the show, after Daniel Bryan, Triple H, they are going to shit all over that pay-per-view because Daniel Bryan is not in the title match.
Even if they put Daniel Bryan Triple H in the main event at WrestleMania, when Batista Orton goes out, they're going to fucking shit all over.
They're going to shit all over.
Because they're like, yo, this is where Bryan's supposed to be. The same way, anytime Batista comes out, they shit because they're like, yo, you got Bryan's spot. You know, you're in the title match, and that's where Bryan should be. We don't like
Daniel Bryan has to be in the main event, in the title match. In the title match at WrestleMania.
You can open the show with the title match. As long as he's in it, I think the crowd would be fine.
If Daniel Bryan's not in the WWE World Heavyweight title match at WrestleMania, the crowd will shit all over that entire match.
Was it last year? What did Daniel Bryan do at Mania last year? Was that the Sheamus fucking 3-second?
It was Sheamus and Daniel Bryan.
God damn, AJ's gone a long way. He was with Daniel Bryan back then, if you remember.
Yeah.
Did the kiss, and as soon as he turned around, bro kick 1, 2, 3, fucking quick loss.
They got to figure something. They got to figure something out for WrestleMania.
I'm just saying they screwed him like a fucking son of a bitch last year at WrestleMania. Now they're doing it again this year.
Do you think? But do you think they're going to do that? Do you think we're going to see Triple H and Daniel Bryan? That's it, man. There's one match. That's it.
They've given us no indication that they're doing anything but that so far. Right. I hope they. I'm just saying, if they want to do it. The logistical problem is, how do they do it? How do they explain Batista Orton, which is already set? Batista won the Rumble, he gets the title match. Orton's a champion, obviously he's in the title match, defending the title. Bryan got Triple H. How do they explain that he somehow... The only way to do it would be if you beat Hunter at Mania, you go to the title match later that night.
But they're trying to force feed.
And it makes sense because they made kind of an angle out of the fact that he's worked multiple matches at Raw and SmackDown
in one night.
A lot of times. He even said, remember the 1 week Triple H says, we're looking out for your safety. That's why we didn't have you.
Exactly.
So it would be conceivable that if he beats Hunter, he gets the title shot later that night. Right. But they've given us no indication that they're going to do anything.
It seems to me like they are trying to
hope they do.
They're trying to force feed this down everybody's throat that, hey, we're doing Triple H and Daniel Bryan, and the way that we're going to try to make you believe that this is what you guys want is every time Daniel Bryan, they're really going to hype this up. Daniel Bryan's going to continue to go after Triple H, and they're going to make the crowd try to really want to see this match, man. They're going to, for over the next 5 weeks, they're going to go into WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan and Triple H hating each other so much that we got to see this match. The problem is you can do all that, the crowd still wants Daniel Bryan as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That doesn't happen.
To correct myself, and you, I guess, because you agree with me, Daniel Bryan Sheamus wasn't last year at Mania. 2 years ago. Last year they did Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan against Big E and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, okay. Boy, Daniel Bryan's come along right now.
I think AJ was with Dolph Ziggler and Big E at that point. So she's been kind of intertwined in Daniel Bryan shit for a while. But
all right, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. We're losing people in the chat room tonight. What's going on? Come back. We're not sucking. We're doing good. All right, so let's see. We've got our rapid fire up, Facebook.com/RyanClarkWZR.
8:30?
It is about 8:30. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. You want to talk about the WWE Network, Elimination Chamber, Monday Night Raw, whatever you guys want to talk about. Vince McMahon has promised that during WrestleMania 30 week, he is not going to sleep at all. I'm going to be right there with him. I'm not going to get much sleep either.
I'm going to sleep. I probably won't sleep that much, but,
so let's see. While we wait for phone calls,
I haven't been sleeping worth a shit the last few days.
I know.
I've been staying up late, getting up early, and
while we wait for live phone calls at 518-712-3070, 518-712-3070, UFC 170 from this past Saturday night main event.
We ran down
Ronda Rousey and Sarah McMahon. Yeah. Right, I thought it was a good stoppage.
Yeah.
Before, all right, she hit a couple of knees to the ribs.
We had our buddy over, and he agreed with you. He thought the stoppage was fine.
At one point, one of the first shots to the ribs of Sarah McMahon, the knees to the ribs, she grabbed her rib, right?
Yeah.
So when she hit the last shot and immediately dropped down to the ground, she was already hurting at that point, and it was clearly obvious. So I think the ref noticed that beforehand, so that when Rousey dropped to the ground, the ref already knew.
Dropped, not Rousey. Yeah.
Huh?
You said Rousey dropped.
McMahon dropped.
Yeah.
When McMahon dropped, I think the referee had already saw beforehand that McMahon was already grabbing her rib. So he immediately said, all right, she's fucked now. It was already hurting her before. She's dropped to the ground now. This is over.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
gotta
why
let them finish them on the ground. It's not boxing. When they go down, it ain't over. You pounce on them and you finish them. If they don't react,
hurt, man.
They don't defend themselves. You know, I know she was hurt, but you gotta fucking finish them.
She wasn't defending herself. She wasn't covering her head. She was grabbing her rib when she was on the ground.
She waited until she was covered up. Rousey's punching. As soon as she turns to go do something, the ref jumps in. It was bad timing because the ref stopped it when she was doing nothing. But right when he was stopping it, she was in the middle of trying to turn around and do something. Bad stoppage in my opinion. But there's been way. It wasn't a. I'll put it this way: it wasn't a bad stoppage, but it wasn't a good stoppage. You know, I've seen much worse, but it wasn't a good stoppage. It wasn't like, oh, they should have stopped it there. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Matt?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Hey, I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts. You didn't really mention it yet, but the Brock and the Undertaker thing. So when Brock and Paul Heyman came out, they're all pissed off and upset that, you know, they felt like they were getting a consolation prize and says, well, we're not going to sign this open contract because it's like a slap in the face, and so we're going to walk out of here and we're going to walk out. Then Undertaker comes out and he gets in the ring, and then now they're like, Undertaker, sign the contract, here you go, Brock already signed it. When 2 minutes earlier, they're like, you know, all pissed off that, you know, so, I just felt like they could have played it out for like a couple of weeks. Like,
you know what? Check this out. I said to Boone last night during Raw, I said, yo, they are making this match look weak as hell. Like the Undertaker match, they are shitting all over this. Like, okay, Brock Lesnar, he's not going to get a WWE title shot, so now he's got to, you know, resort to a second-rate match with, you know, a guy like the Undertaker. You know what I mean?
No,
they made, but no.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with this. Before this, it made it seem like, all right, Brock's not in the WWE title match, so anything other than the WWE title match is, this sucks. You know what I mean? We're still going to be at WrestleMania, but this match, it's not as good as the WWE title match. Now, when the Undertaker came out, you can forget about all that, because when the Undertaker came out, the look on Brock's face was, shit.
Let me tell you, that's what they.
Tell us, tell us.
Listen, Undertaker wasn't promoted. He wasn't advertised. So he's supposed to be in nobody's minds. Even though everybody watching knew Undertaker scheduled, he's coming out, and they already knew he was the guy that Lesnar was fighting too. So while they know all of this, the perception and the storyline was, we got this open contract, so Taker's not even an option. They think he's not even in the company, he's not part of anything. So
not even there, right.
If you don't get a title match, there's no such thing as Taker.
Right.
We gotta fucking pick somebody on the show or somebody in the roster that isn't on the show already.
Exactly.
Fuck, who do we... Then when Taker come out, I was like, oh shit.
We forgot about Taker.
He's back. He's going to do the streak one more year.
Taker at WrestleMania.
All of a sudden, that is acceptable. That's not a consolation prize.
But you're
right.
He's right.
At first, me and you were talking, and you said it to me, and I was like, you know what? That's a fucking great point. They were really making this match seem like it's unimportant. Second rate. Exactly what the caller said was what we were saying.
But you just brought up
dumbass thing they're doing. They're making the match seem like it's unimportant.
You just brought up a great point.
Nobody was supposed to think
we weren't supposed to know that Taker was coming tonight, and the fact that we all knew that Taker was
consolation prize. This is nothing. Taker wasn't even in the fucking picture yet.
Because it was like, as soon as Brock came out, I said, okay, the main event, I knew it was going to be Undertaker, because who else is going to come out? I mean, you're not going to have...
Right, but the casual fan didn't... You know, the casual fan didn't know that the Undertaker was returning, so when he did return... and
we know that, but we're not supposed to know that.
Yeah, think about if you didn't know that, you know what I mean? Like Boone said, man, if we didn't know that the Undertaker was coming back, it would have been like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Like, he's going to have to fight Heath Slater or Kane or somebody that, you know, that's not the title match. That's just fucking consolation.
So it all came around in the end.
When it was like, he can beat the streak. And you said it yourself. They sold it with their face. It was like, oh shit, you know.
Right. Thanks for the call, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Hey, we've only got one open phone line, guys. We saw a lot of phone calls coming up here. But if you don't get through the first time, just keep calling back over and over and over. We'll eventually get to you guys. One open phone line. We can't put you guys on hold or anything like that. So if you hear somebody on the line, just wait a minute or two and then try calling back. It's 518 518-712-3070. It's not a guarantee that we can get to these rapid fire questions tonight. We're gonna try to mix it up a little bit.
We had 20 minutes left. I made it damn near the whole way without getting smoke in my
with the smoke in the eye.
Boom. Just happened. Yeah, but 518-712-3070. Give us a call. You should load up rapid fire so we can try and get some of those.
We'll try to mix up rapid fire in between the live phone calls, guys.
Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What's up, man? What's on your mind?
What's up, man?
First off, I just want to say Batista just turned heel. So,
spoiler alert. All right.
Did he turn heel? If you guys don't want to hear, turn down your speakers. What happened at the SmackDown tapings? What do you do? Cut a promo and basically trash the crowd?
Came out, started here in the booth. Crowd started chanting Daniel Bryan. He told him to shut up, and he's talking about he's going to destroy everybody's heroes. And, said Daniel Bryan's not going to be ever champion because he's going to be the champion. And Dolph Ziggler just came out. So.
There you go. See, I mean, you knew that Dave Batista was going to go heel. Thanks for the call, man. So Dave Batista went heel at the SmackDown tapings.
Oh, turn your speakers down. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Boone, it's John Morgan. How's it going?
What's up, man? Can you
turn those? John Morgan's a loyal, diehard fan, man.
You turn those speakers down. We're getting an echo. Johnny Morgan, we love you, man. What's on your mind?
I got a question for you. First thing I noticed last night when Heyman and Lesnar were doing the whole "we're not getting the match we want" thing, we're not going to get what we want at WrestleMania, we're walking out. You think that was Vince taking a shot at CM Punk?
I didn't notice that, but he said walking out. He said
not getting what we want. Walking, okay, that could be. I mean, that's a subtle shot, whether it was intentional or not. I don't know, but that's a good point.
It probably was. You know what I was trying to tell Boone last night?
Like you always say, they do that fucking
very subtle shit, man.
Yeah, inside joke. We're taking a dig at this guy, even though nobody knows it.
The casual fan doesn't know it. The smart fans
will kind of
pick it up on it.
Yeah, we got them.
But I would say, and not only that, but they're having CM Punk's a huge fan of Breaking Bad, right? And they're gonna have this guest host next week. I don't know much about Breaking Bad, but they're gonna have.
That he's a huge fan. By the way.
He is. He's tweeted numerous times about Breaking Bad every Sunday night when it aired. You got to check out Breaking Bad. There's a photo of him. He put a photo up.
I think you're drawing the conclusion that he went and visited the set. That he's huge.
No, he's a big fan. Dude, he's been all over Twitter. He's always praising Breaking Bad. And then there's a photo where he posted a photo with him and somebody else. They went and they took a visit to the Breaking Bad house, and the two of them are standing in front. And then
I want to see that photo because I'm not even sure if that was him. By the way, I remember there was two guys. Was it him for sure?
We got the gallery up on WZR. Right. It's I want to say Zack Ryder or Ziggler. Maybe it's Ziggler.
I don't know who
Ziggler and CM Punk. But Raw's in Chicago next week. CM Punk's hometown. They've got this big Breaking Bad star coming next week. And if I'm CM Punk, I'm thinking, man, I'm CM Punk, so I could probably make a phone call and meet this guy.
Right.
If I'm CM Punk, I could make a phone call and meet this dude anytime I want, right? I've got connections. I can meet. I mean, if I want to meet up with the guy. But if I'm CM Punk, I'm thinking, you know what? Raw next week, my hometown. Big fan of Breaking Bad. I'd like to meet this dude. But I'm not there anymore, so
I'm
whatever.
Not touching that. That's Ryan Clark.
I'm just saying, man. CM Punk's a big fan of Breaking Bad. If you were CM Punk, put yourself in the shoes of CM Punk,
you
right?
tried this last night. I'm
the
caller because I'm not going to.
All right, fuck it, man. Never mind. What do you want to talk about, bro? You still there? What's up, man?
Yeah, like I said, the first thing I noticed was I figured it was kind of like a behind-the-back shot of CM Punk, because I'm sitting there listening to him and do the kind of whiny, we're not getting what we want, we're not happy with how things are, this isn't what we want, so we're going to be done with WWE and all that. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, this has got to be what Vince's take on CM Punk is.
Fucking great point. I didn't even cross my mind, but now that you say it, it makes perfect sense. I think you're exactly right.
You're probably right.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Just whining and bitching about, not getting what they want.
Thanks for the call, Johnny, by the way. We love you, man.
Johnny Morgan, big
always
fan
in chat,
of
always on the Facebook,
always,
Twitter
always.
too. But we didn't even run the Taker Lesnar thing down. I guess we've explained enough of what happened. But what did you think of the fucking stabbing with the pen? I thought that was kind of violent.
Did you say that was a takeoff of a movie or something?
It was like that? Well, The Godfather when it was a knife in the hand.
Okay.
But and then they wrapped the thing around him and killed him by choking him. But it wasn't the same. But it's the only other time I can remember seeing somebody get their hand stabbed like that. But anyways, I thought it was very violent for a PG kids show, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna stab this motherfucker in the hand with a pen, like,
yeah, but
kind of violent.
When I was watching it live, that didn't really come across. I mean,
It didn't come across as violent?
Well, it came across
damn
as
violent.
Yeah,
Stab with a pen?
Yeah, it's violent, but it didn't immediately scream, "Oh my God, that's not PG."
No, I didn't.
Maybe I wasn't
yeah.
thinking about it in that way, but it
Oh,
was violent.
The only thing that I thought was, wow, that was pretty violent, and then I'm like, oh, that's right, and they're PG. Like,
They're
man, that's
PG,
kind of
yeah.
rough for a kid to see somebody fucking stabbing somebody with
Also,
a pen.
you know, it's like
They're not even allowed to do chair shots anymore, but they're gonna stab somebody with a pen.
It was 11:05 at night. I mean,
True.
you know, and not only that, but you tune in to like Comedy Central. I think like after 11 o'clock or midnight or something like
that's
that,
not a PG
and they start
rated.
cussing and
Yeah,
shit.
they don't
man.
do fucking
You ever notice
TV.
that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I
they
know.
don't do TV PG in the top corner.
No, you're
before
right.
those shows
You're right.
start, you
You're
know.
right. But it was later in the show, which you know maybe they think that it's a
What do
little
you
bit
think about
later.
Taker's condition? He looks real. Like, they're bringing him in the chat room. I'll give the guy
Well-
credit. It was Sir Syphilis.
We always put
said he looked old, but
we always put a photo up, man. Every year it comes out, right?
Yeah.
A photo comes out of the
you don't see him
Undertaker,
for
right?
a year, and you're like, what's he look like? The one
Right,
that
right.
shaved his head, and we're like, damn, how's he going to be Taker? He
but a
wore
pho-
he wore the wig for the vignettes, remember?
Yeah, but a photo always comes out every year, and he's got the gray beard, and he's got the gray hair, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he looks so old. And then he comes back on WWE
He's still doing the
television.
mohawk, right? I didn't even pay attention last night. He's got the bald and the
you're
mohawk.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
but he comes back every year, and of course he's gonna put the hair dye just for men or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he dyes himself up. But I
Like
mean,
Diesel,
the photo,
like Kevin Nash, when he comes back as Diesel, he
Yeah.
always dies. Yeah.
the photo that came out online, you're like, wow, look at it. And
looks
he's
old.
old, man. He's
Yeah.
real old. But listen,
What's he, 49?
he's 50.
I think he's 49 or maybe
Yeah.
50. I think he's in his late 40s, early
But
50s.
listen, we say it every year. These photos come out where he's not dyed and he's got the gray hair, and then he comes back on
I'm
television.
not talking about his hair color.
No,
I'm
wait a
saying,
minute,
do you
wait a
think
minute,
he
wait a
looks
minute.
like he's got to
Hold
do
on
a match. What kind of condition?
So he comes back and he's all dyed up and he's and everything. But every year we go to WrestleMania and we think that the dude is old, and he kills it at WrestleMania every single year.
the point I'm trying to make,
I
though.
know the point you're trying to make. You're asking me, how do you think when he comes
Yeah, but
back is
because he's worked with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk. He's working with Brock Lesnar this
Brock
year.
Lesnar's a
He's
stiff-
older than he's ever been.
yeah?
He's in worse condition physically with injuries than he's ever been.
I
He doesn't
think
have Shawn Michaels, Triple H, or CM Punk to carry him and help him.
since Brock's come back to WWE, Brock's had some really good matches. Granted, he's been in there with people like Triple H, people that can carry him
yeah, and they're
in
brawls.
matches, but they're brawls, and that's what I think WrestleMania is going
It
to
should be.
They're going to turn it into
Yeah.
a brawl. Brock Lesnar's a stiff worker.
The other-
Brock Lesnar's not a bad worker. He's not a terrible worker, and I think the Undertaker, despite his age, is a guy that can carry matches or that can have a good brawl with a guy like Brock Lesnar.
That was the other part of my point. You assumed you knew it, but no, they said...
I know all your points.
They said
bro.
that Undertaker for the last several years, and the reason his match has been so good, not only is he working with the best wrestlers in the world
Right.
for those matches, but they go to his house or whatever, his gym or whatever, and work the
They
match
train.
out for
Right.
weeks and weeks and weeks in advance. Something that Lesnar's not willing to do. Lesnar's not at the level of Punk, Hunter, or Shawn. Undertaker's older and more banged up than he's ever been. Do you think that he's going to have another classic match like he has fucking several years in a row now?
I think
This year.
we come out of WrestleMania 30, man.
I'm
You're
sure it'll
going in.
feel awesome.
You're going into WrestleMania 30. I think we come out of WrestleMania 30, and as we do every single year, and I know, like you said, he's been in matches with people that can carry a good match with
And
anybody.
they work it out for weeks
And
in
they work it
advance.
out for
Yeah.
weeks in advance.
He's older
But
and more
even
banged up.
Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, we're going to come out of WrestleMania 30 as we do every single year, saying The Undertaker and Brock tore the fucking house down.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same as previous
I
years.
agree with that.
It's going to be a hard-hitting, stiff
It's gonna
match.
be a great fight.
But yes, The Undertaker looks old as fuck, man. But he comes
Yeah.
back, dyes the hair, and it looks like the old Undertaker. He just gets 1 year older every year. But I think coming out of WrestleMania, what do you think, man? You think coming out of WrestleMania 30, we're going to be talking about Undertaker?
I think
no.
no. We're gonna come out of it saying, yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But will it be of the level? I don't think the CM as great as people thought the Punk match was.
Right.
It's nowhere near the level of the Triple H matches, the
Right.
two he had, or the two he had with Shawn Michaels. It wasn't on that level, in my opinion, even though it was great.
And I don't think
say
this will be on
this
that.
year
No.
won't even be on that
I agree.
level. So it's
I
like,
agree.
maybe he should fucking, you know, and God, if you want to think about the guy, let's pretend he's your best friend.
But you know he's not losing to Lesnar this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But you know, and the whole point of that streak is to convince people that this could be the guy that could actually end it. And there's nobody's buying that.
Nobody's gonna buy that.
I think the casual fan's supposed to, because you know Lesnar's the former UFC champion. He's a fucking beast, badass.
But you know when you're watching the match, towards the end of the match, you're gonna be like, "Wow, is Lesnar really gonna beat the Undertaker?" Now they got every year,
they book a certain situation.
Right.
The one year with Triple H was a fucking brilliant one where they had HBK Sweet Chin music straight into a pedigree.
Right.
One, two. Oh shit!
Still kicked out.
Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah.
Right. All right. How about this, man? We're still going to take live phone
Begging
calls.
for rapid fire.
Let's do 1 or 2 word answers, okay?
Okay.
So that we can get to them. So 1 or 2 word answers this week. We're all still taking the live phone calls. We had a lot of calls earlier. If you guys didn't get through, keep calling back up. 518-712-3070. All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
Matt Johnson, when Hogan is about to do his wife, do you think he says the following? Well, let me tell you something, brother. I think I'll hit you from the back, dude. Get on your knees, Jack. Hulkamania is about to run wild on you, brother.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. First of all, no, and we know he doesn't because he's on tape and he didn't do any of that.
He's on tape. He doesn't do it.
He didn't do any of that, but that would be fucking entertaining. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Joseph Ricardo, do you agree that Rollins is easily the man of the match? Surely they must give this guy a push. I guess he's talking about the chamber match.
Rollins?
I would say he's the best worker in the Shield, and I would say he was a huge part of that match. And last night he did that big fucking dive, I think, or was that chamber? He did a big fucking dive at one point. No,
they all did dives,
right? It was last night he did the dive. That match was sucking with Brian Roman, and he came into the dive, and everybody fucking came up, and he's great.
All right.
I think he's going to get a push, but probably not. We've said he's going to be the guy.
I think he's going to be
lost in the shuffle when they split that up.
Exactly.
It sucks because he's so good.
Anthony Remy, will there be Raw and SmackDown episodes from 2002, 2003, 4, 5, 6, or 2002 through 2004 on the WWE Network? Are they going that far back?
As I understand it, there's only going to be 2012, 2013, and best of 2012, 2013, and then I know they have the first episode of SmackDown ever on there right now.
Do they?
I saw that on my torrent site that was from the network.
What about Raw? Do they have the one from the Hammerstein?
They have the very first Raw as well, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how they're handling it. I'm not great with network because I didn't sign up. But listen, I was thinking about it. I was really excited for the network. And then I started thinking, well, we get our pay-per-views for free anyway. That's the big lure of the network.
Right.
All the DVD documentaries and all that shit they're having on there, I have them anyway. I download them off illegal torrent sites.
Right.
Anything, I watched the first episode of WWE Countdown, the first episode of WrestleMania Rewind, which are the 2 original series, and then they got Monday Night War, which hasn't started yet, Legends House, which hasn't started yet.
We watch Raw and SmackDown every week.
Yeah, we watch those every week. We get the pay-per-views for free. I got all the documentaries already. The Countdown and Rewind and all those shows are available on the torrent site, so I can download. I have no reason to
I'd like to go back and watch the ECW pay-per-views.
I can download all that for you right now, too, if you want. So there's really nothing on the network that I'm
But it's a lot
easier.
Network. Instead of downloading one by one, you just go click a button and ECW.
You gotta sign up, spend money, and then
you sign up one time,
and for people like
get
me,
in there and you're good to go.
If you don't have a great computer, you see me try and stream video on this computer.
Right.
It's horrible. You skips and chops. I can download something, and if I downloaded it,
But for somebody like me, I sign up one time, I go in there, I click a button, and there's the pay-per-view. It's a lot easier for me, man, instead of downloading each one individually.
But it only takes a minute to download it.
Right.
Literally, 2 minutes.
If you got high-speed internet, which everybody does these days, right?
And there's a lot of Caesars.
Right. All right, let's see here. We've got Ryan Shoptar. Do you think CM Punk will return next week since next week's Raw is in Chicago? As of right now...
I know we're supposed to go there to meet.
You had said that CM Punk is supposed to be backstage at Raw on Monday to meet Vince.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be backstage at Raw, but he's supposed to go to the building and meet with Vince sometime during the day.
I haven't heard that, but Boone told me about it yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Do I think he's going to return next week? I really don't. It's in Chicago. Do you think CM
I don't think he'll be there.
Okay.
I wish he would, because I miss that fucker on Raw every week. He was my favorite promo, without a doubt, and one of the best matches every week,
And we'll see about the meeting, man. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know that for a fact. I've heard that.
And we'll see what happens, man. Does he meet with Vince McMahon? And
what comes out of that meeting?
What comes out of that meeting? So we'll see what happens.
Paul Velasquez, how fucking awesome was the Shield versus the Wyatt? It was really awesome.
It was great.
The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome," and holy shit before the match even started. Yeah, we said that.
Yep.
When have you last seen that before a match. We mentioned that too. Never. That I can remember. I never seen that. Speaking of the Shield and Wyatts, they left the door open to revisit the feud last night. Do you think they will collide again?
We talked about that too. Yeah. Paul Velasquez, what are you doing, brother? What are you doing? Gurhop Kalan. What are your thoughts? Yesterday it was offered that Marcos Maidana against Floyd Mayweather and Sergio Martinez against Miguel Cotto was official last week. That's an awesome
they're doing Maidana Mayweather.
Are they?
Is it Maidana? I thought it was somebody else. No, I guess it is Maidana Floyd Mayweather. It's not Cinco de Mayo this year. It's May 3rd.
Okay.
And then Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto.
That's a great fight.
That's a real good fight. Right. Yeah. When we got Tom Nelson who says, "Does Lesnar's contract end at WrestleMania 30?" No,
he signed a 2-year
extension. Through 31. Yeah.
Right, signed a 2-year extension. Dusty LeBaron. Do you think they will have Reigns steal Ambrose's U.S. title, setting up a 3-way at WrestleMania? Kind of talked about that earlier.
I don't think he'll have him steal the title. I think there's more money in him chasing a belt than winning and
the title, but have a match between the three of them at WrestleMania.
That's the last I heard as far as what they're going to do with those guys.
I like that.
Jason Hansen, do you guys need to see NXT Arrival this Thursday? Oh, you guys need to, not do you. You guys need to watch NXT Arrival this Thursday. Emma versus Paige, Adrian Neville versus Bo Dallas, and Antonio Cesaro versus Sami Zayn will be awesome. Did you guys see the WWE Network? By the way, last week on SmackDown, they acknowledged Viscera's passing. So they did announce. Well, why didn't they do it on Raw?
I didn't see the announcement. They did announce it on SmackDown. Good, man. That's good. And NXT Arrival this Thursday night is a really, really good show. They've got the ladder match and everything else.
2 out of 3 falls, rematch with Zayn and Cesaro.
Paige and Emma, 2 of the best divas in the company. Right.
Yeah.
Matt Johnson.
Oh, and Dallas and Neville. That's a ladder match.
That's a ladder match, right? Yeah. That's the ladder match, right?
Did you say that? Okay.
Yeah. Bo Dallas is pretty good down in NXT.
I've never seen him. I've never seen him or Neville. I've never seen Sami Zayn or Zahn, even when he was El Generico, what is it?
El Generico.
Okay. Right. See, that's how much I know. But
watch NXT. The video that we put up on the website, it says this week's NXT video.
And the panel, bro. Kevin Nash, Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman's there too.
Shawn Michaels? No,
Kevin Nash replaced.
And there's some other big names there. I can't remember, but yeah.
Matt Johnson, here's how I book the that's who it is. Matt Johnson, here's how I book the WrestleMania 30 main event. Orton versus Batista versus Triple H versus Daniel Bryan in a fatal 4-way. Basically, all 3 members of Evolution and Daniel Bryan. Bryan wins, desecrating Evolution in a historic match, but I'm fine with Triple H versus Bryan since for the purpose of the storyline.
You know what? I didn't even think of that. That would be an interesting idea. The 3 active members of Evolution with Bryan in there too.
And then Bryan takes them all out.
And then maybe they all turn on him and redo Evolution again. That would even be kind of cool. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Stan Scott, what is the 6-month commitment? $9.99 each month for 6 months. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is, man.
$9.99
each month for 6 months. Christopher Brown, was I the only one who noticed during Hogan's opening promo when he meant to say WWE Network and said WWE Network instead? You're talking about WWE Universe. He said
he said WWE Universe instead of WWE Network.
He flubbed his lines big time, just like Batista did later in the night. Yeah, he fucked up, but then he did it once. He quickly corrected himself and kept emphasizing WWE Network, WWE Network.
Same way when Michael Cole screws up and says Langston, he'll go Big E, and then Big E throws him in the corner. Big E's a great fight, and he'll keep saying it like, all right, we get it, you screwed up, let it go.
Right.
Christopher Brown. That is Christopher Brown. Stan
Scott is back.
And Jay Sutherland died of an illness.
That's what they were saying.
I've been told from the girlfriend he got very sick while he went with the girlfriend, and the girlfriend parents in Brazil. Okay, so basically he's saying they went to Brazil and he got real sick in Brazil and he's dead as a result.
Somebody said that a couple of weeks ago. Jay Sutherland, true. Rest in peace, brother.
If true,
we're gonna miss you on here, man.
There's a lot of death talk tonight.
We're gonna miss you on here, brother. Dusty LeBaron.
Awesome.
He's got a photo. Those guys on the internet.
Those guys on the internet said I can't wrestle. And Batista's crying real.
That is awesome. That's a great photo. Teresa Baker, notice how not one comment was about the show tonight. I dug it. First time in the chat, had a battle, love the heat. Teresa Baker, welcome to WZR TV Tuesdays. She's here every week?
She's on my Facebook every day, I know that.
Teresa Baker, Teresa's always commenting on this stuff.
Paul Velasquez, Chris Cyborg has been saying she's dropping to 135 pounds to fight Ronda Rousey, beat her and take the belt, and then beat her again in a rematch to prove it wasn't a fluke, and then retire Rousey. Bold statement from Cyborg. Do you think it happens?
Cyborg is going to drop down and wait.
She's supposedly dropping to 135. She dropped Tito Ortiz as her manager. Or Tito Ortiz let her go, whatever. But, yeah, and Dana White doesn't seem interested in it at all, although that would be the biggest women's fight ever and one of the biggest pay-per-views ever in general, regardless of
people
sex.
want to see the Cyborg
that's an easy fight to promote, yeah.
Right.
So, does it happen? I'll say 50-50.
Paul Velasquez, you guys botched there. Bryan and Kane face Ziggler and Big E. Yeah, we corrected ourselves earlier. Our bad for that. Abe Ross, thoughts on how WWE's plans to stop illegal streams from the WWE Network and people accessing it from countries not eligible for it. Yeah,
I've heard that.
People in the United Kingdom,
Canada and Europe, there's certain ways they can get it.
They were saying that they can get it on
which is interesting, is it's available on WWE.com, right? So why wouldn't everybody be able to get it then? I don't understand.
Well, there's some videos like on YouTube.com where if we put a video up from YouTube, the embed code, they can't play it in other countries. It's weird because the ISP providers kind of block that stuff. So there are people like, I guess if you're going to an illegal stream site that is streaming the WWE Network,
I know everybody around the world uses YouTube. So maybe there's just a different way they access it or something, and I don't know.
Maybe like YouTube.com instead of .com, they do like .ns or .
I don't think so. I think anybody can go to YouTube.com and use it.
All right. There's some videos, at least on Hulu, because some people can't view NXT. You know.
Interesting.
I don't know how that
works. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting stuff with this network that's hard to keep track of. To be honest with you. Vincent Nugent, did you guys read the report of Matt Hardy and Rebby Sky both reaching a plea agreement recently? Yeah.
We did. Matt Hardy's got to stay out of trouble for 2 years. They also have to take anger management courses.
Anger management's the part I remember.
Anger management courses and stay out of trouble for 2 years. Good luck with that. If you're Matt Hardy, good luck with that, man. 2 years staying out of trouble. Jason Hooper.
All right.
Boy, the network sucks. All the pay-per-views are not working. I mean, listen. After the initial, all the sign-ups and everything, this network is going to probably run flawlessly.
Yeah, from what I hear, a lot of it is the sign-up was a problem, and a lot of the on-demand stuff. Like the actual streaming, 24/7 streaming shit is supposedly okay. Right. But the signing up and getting on was a problem for a lot of people, and accessing the on-demand library
you
was a
give
problem.
This thing a couple of weeks to work out all all the kinks and things like that. This thing is going to run flawlessly. People are going to love it. Let's be honest, man. Did anybody expect the network
to run flawlessly,
right off the bat?
What do you think about WWE immediately burying MLB TV?
They kind of
immediately
did,
man. The first time there was problems on that launch day, they're like, it's their fault. They're fucking up. And
but people
that was kind of a scumbag move.
People that have the MLB network say
it was them.
People that have the MLB network say on opening day of the season every single year they have problems.
Is it every year when they first started it? Yeah, either way, I've heard. They've had problems.
They have problems, every year. So, or at least when they first started, like you said. So, but they did throw the blame on the MLB Network.
Completely,
MLB Network came out today and said we've never seen anything like this where so many people have signed up.
It's much bigger than MLB TV, much bigger than Fight Pass.
Right.
I don't know if it's bigger than Netflix, but it's certainly bigger than when Netflix first started. There wasn't like 400,000, 500,000 people that rushed to sign up.
That's what it is.
The day one of Netflix.
Everybody rushed
the first time there's been a subscription digital over-the-top service like this, where the day it launches, 1 billion people are getting it all at the same time.
This is brand new territory for any company, not just WWE.
They're the first ones to put their balls on the line and really.
That's what it is, man.
And if it works, and once it works, all these other people are going to start doing it too.
Everybody's going to do it. If this works for WWE, everybody's going to start doing it. And like we said,
even if it doesn't, eventually this is where everything's moving. Everything's moving towards the internet.
Right. So not only that, but
taking over.
The rumor is 250 to 350,000 signups yesterday. They they had said a couple of weeks ago before the network launched, they needed 1 million subscribers to break even. So they've got 250 to 350,000.
And this is just domestically.
This is in one day. So I would say,
and domestically, let's think when they open up Canada and UK. They got huge fan bases in those markets.
I think as we go into WrestleMania, we're going to have about 500,000 subscribers if the reports are true right now. Then when they go domestically, they're going to reach their 1 million.
Domestic is U.S. When they go international. Yeah, but when they go international, I'm sure there's more money to expand and make it available. But I think there's going to be such a
they're going to hit their 1 million.
I think they get more, if you take Canada and UK combined versus U.S.,
right.
I'd say it's either even or maybe more.
But you've got to hit that 1 million, and then you've got to keep them coming. Yeah. You've got to keep them renewing their subscriptions to break even.
And they've really fucked themselves with the pay-per-view companies. If it doesn't work and they got to go crawling back.
If they got to crawl back, the pay-per-view companies are really going to... Yeah.
Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Hey, Ryan. What's up, baby? That's AMC Boy calling you from New Orleans.
What's up, brother?
New Orleans.
I got a question. Yeah, it's New Orleans. That's how we pronounce it. I heard you guys talking about the website, and I actually want to know, how come Vince McMahon is supposed to get a pass for his website, but nobody gives Obama a pass for his website?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people are bitching at WWE. You know, what's the deal here? You guys promised that there was going to be no issues, this, that, and the other thing. And of course, everybody went and bashed Obama and bashed, you know, their system that they had set up. It's just it's a case of, you know, it failed for the federal government, and it really, I mean, WWE's they're going to fix their issues within the next week or so. WWE's going to fix their issues after the initial, you know, they just got slammed.
Yeah, the initial surge. It all comes back to what we said. It's brand new territory. You got to give them a chance and then see where it goes. Colleague, you're on the air. What's going on? What's on your mind?
You actually just said what I wanted to talk about. This is where I go from the chat room. What's going on,
brother?
Guys?
What's up, brother?
Sorry. Right now, all the on-demand seems to be down for the WWE Network, but I think that once they figure this all out, everything is going to work kind of smooth.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I mean, that's what we're saying. It's brand new territory. It's brand, and even, okay, it's not brand new territory in the sense nobody's ever tried a digital network, but it's the first time on this large of a scale, and with it being established, all the people going right, you know what I mean? Once they get it going and they're in the swing of it, I think everybody's going to love it. You know? I think it's going to change the way the business runs. And we still haven't heard, thanks for the call, by the way, we still haven't heard how this affects payoffs as far as pay-per-views. And last night was the last pay-per-view.
I don't think talents have heard either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We still haven't heard them finding out anything. And last night was the last regular pay-per-view. From WrestleMania on, how do they get paid for these, you know, which is a large payoff that they're used to getting? How do they handle that now?
Yeah.
You know, if the network doesn't succeed in the way that WWE, you know, it estimated, then they're kind of fucked because they got to give these guys a certain amount of payoffs that they're used to. And if they don't give them that, and they're not getting the subscriptions they wanted, they're losing so much money.
What about the ECW guys that, you know, their stuff is airing on the network? Are they going to get anything like that?
I don't think there's any royalties. No. They own the library. They, you know, when they put out DVDs, they don't get royalties for those.
You're right. All right, Vincent Nugent, real quick. If you guys watched Impact Wrestling from this past Thursday night, what do you think about James Storm turning his back on Gunner? They're going to do
I didn't see it though. Yeah.
They're going to do a cage match between those two. It was just announced for TNA Lockdown. Yeah, they announced it. Another one from Vincent Nugent. What did you guys think of Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards?
That's right. They won the tag titles.
The Wolves.
Morgantown, West Virginia house show.
The idea here is they're going overseas to London. No, I think
you're talking about Japan. That's in March. Yeah.
So the Wolves are going overseas. The Bromans are not going overseas for that tour. Yeah. So they're going to do the combined.
The Japanese promoters, Wrestle One, they were promised a certain amount of title matches on the show. So if the Bromans, like you said, ain't going over, and they have to have 3 title matches, whatever it was. They need champions represented.
They needed to get the tag team titles off, and this was their pretty much last opportunity to do it before they go. Yeah, they're not going. So they've got Davey Richards. Not only that, but the better match is Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. As both of those guys,
and they can work a Japanese style very well.
Right, and both of those guys are known overseas in Japan as they've worked there before. Another interesting bit is Ring of Honor has teamed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. They are the next show in New York City. They're going to do one show in Toronto in Canada, the other show in New York City when Worlds Collide, I believe it is, or War of the Worlds, I believe is what it's going to be.
That was what the UFC was supposed to originally be called, War of the Worlds.
New York City, it's going to be ROH talents against Japan talents, and they're going to do it. It's going to be an entire weekend where they do one show in Toronto, the other show in New York City at the Hammerstein Ballroom. ROH against New Japan talents, which is going to make for some really, really good matches.
And finishing up the rapid fire, Matt Johnson says, speaking of Lesnar Taker, I should say, I heard that Lesnar had agreed to go to Texas and train with Taker to prepare for their match, and lots of conflicting reports on the WWE Network, but it's running great for me, no major issues.
A lot of people are saying that they don't have issues. Other people are saying
an equal amount of complaints versus praises. A lot of people think it's awesome. A lot of people say it sucks. And
it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see Brock Lesnar go down to Texas and train with the Undertaker. It is WrestleMania.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. It's not in his contract.
Yeah,
but listen,
take some pride in your work. You know what I mean?
Take pride in your work. It's WrestleMania. I'm sure that Taker and Lesnar have talked. Especially, they were both backstage at Raw last night. They know that they're going to have a match with each other.
And for those who think that because of that UFC promo they did, that they hate each other,
that was scripted.
That was an angle. Yeah, that wasn't real.
Scripted by WWE.
From what I've heard, there was an issue in the past with them.
Right.
But it's not like they fucking can't be in the same room.
They
hate each other that much. They can do business.
They don't hate each other, and I think in front of 80,000 people, Taker comes to Lesnar and says, "Hey, come down to my gym.
Let's fucking figure this out.
Train. We'll put on a great show in front of 80,000 people." I'm sure that something was said between the two guys backstage at Raw yesterday, and I'm sure that Brock would probably agree. I'll come down there 1 or 2 days, and we'll script this thing out, and we'll have a great match at WrestleMania. It wouldn't surprise me.
Who do you think's a bigger legend in WWE, Undertaker or Hulk Hogan? Hogan helped build the company, but Taker's been there since 1990. That's 24 years. Nobody in history can say they've had a run like Undertaker and WWE.
When you think of pro wrestling, to the casual fan, when you think of pro wrestling, you think Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, and The Rock. Those are your top 3.
I'm not talking about from a fan perspective who's the bigger star. I'm saying as far as WWE's legacy is concerned, who is a bigger legend to that company, not to wrestling fans, not to fucking fans in general, to that company, who is
Let me say this. The top 5, and I know this isn't what you're asking me, but the top 5 would be Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. I would put them as the 5 guys that Andre the Giant's up there.
I'd put Bruno in there.
Bruno, see, I would say Andre the Giant, people like that.
You got to put Bruno in there.
I would say that I feel like when people think wrestling, whether it be WWE or wrestling in general, the one name that comes to everybody's mind is Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, or Steve Austin. Those are the names.
Or Steve Austin, or Rock. Rock's up there too.
In the discussion.
But I would say just due to that fact, that if you mention wrestling, hey, who do you know in wrestling? To somebody that doesn't even watch wrestling, so they're going to say Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And I feel like due to that, Hulk Hogan is...
And Hogan did... Here's the question I should ask. Who has the better legacy in WWE? Not who did more. Because who did more for the company? Hogan did more than anybody. Because he really helped put that company on the map.
The better legacy... I mean, Taker's got the WrestleMania thing.
He's got the WrestleMania thing. He's got the longevity. He helped build more stars. He really...
Probably the Undertaker as far as legacy
is that's what I should have asked.
But the name, the name...
Who's the bigger WWE icon?
The Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. But legacy, I would say the Undertaker...
Pretty much because
of the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania and the amount of people that he's put over.
And the amount of time he's been there. I mean, 1990. He was there when Hogan was in the mid. He was there and he took the title from Hogan when Hogan was in his big fucking historic run.
Right.
That early run from 84 to 92, 93, whatever it was.
Right.
Like he was there in 90. Took the title Tuesday in Texas or whatever the fuck that show was called. The pile driver on the chair, Ric Flair, all that thing. He was there. You know, so and he's been there since then, all the way till fucking April coming up in WrestleMania. You know, he's had a fucking run that is
had a hell of a
unprecedented.
run, man.
Nobody can say they've done 24 years in WWE on top.
All right.
Because he came in on top, and he's been on top ever since.
All right. Brother,
Crazy run.
that's Tuesday night.
We'll call that Tuesday. You motherfucker.
Here. All right, we're out of here, man. Listen, it's going to be a busy, busy couple of weeks coming up here on WZR TV.
All the way to Mania, it's going to be crazy.
Mania's coming, bro. It's that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year. It's Mania. WZR TV Tuesdays. It's going to be busy. Hopefully, we can build some new fans. Spread the word for us. And we're going to get out of here. SmackDown and main event spoilers coming up here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Coming up here on the websites. You guys are new tonight. Hopefully we entertained you. I thought kind of started off a little bit slow, and our numero uno, our numero dos, we killed it. We kill it every Tuesday night. Our numero dos is good. Yeah. You're a killer. You're a natural born killer. Where's DMX, man? Or not DMX. It's New Jack's theme
Natural
song.
Born Killers, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre.
Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, that's who it is. Alright guys, we're out of here. We will see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time, WZROnline.com. Stay tuned to the website. Stay tuned to the websites. It's going to be very busy for the remainder of the week.
Doing the Lex Luger. With this, when you point, you leave the thumb up.
We'll keep you posted on the WWE Network and everything else. We'll be back here, like I said, next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time for Matt Boone.
That's me.
Brian Clark.
That's him.
See you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time for the third time. WZROnline.com.
Boom.